Good evening, Tiger sports fans. It's the Swanton Welding pregame show with your host, Scott Barrett.
Welcome, Liberty Center Tiger fans, for a Week 4 matchup against league rival Archbold. Liberty Center comes into this game 3-0, Archbold 2-1. Lead color guy Jigs, Brian Babcock, and the legendary Spike Whitman tonight on the call. Every week we do a segment with Coach Moeller called On the 50. We'll go to the tape and see what he had to say about this matchup. Welcome to another version of On the 50 with Coach Moeller, our weekly conversation about the game that was and the game that will be. Coach Moeller, we talked a little bit last week about Otsego and about what they could do with new coaches and a new culture. They did some of those things that you expected, but our offense early in that game, you had to feel really good about the run game and things you got done early.
Yeah, we got off to a fast start and was able to execute really, really well early. And then, that we kind of relaxed a little bit and took our foot off the gas, which, wasn't intentional, but, gave us a comfortable enough lead that we could do some other things and try some things. But, we like the start, and we'd like to continue to do that moving forward. So hopefully, we can work those kinks out.
So we looked at that as a fan. I didn't do any analysis of that game. It was Jigs and Spike, and it was kind of fun to watch, with the exception of one particular incident. But the fact is, when I'm watching the football game, I'm trying to determine, is it the offensive line? Is it Waylon Rentz? Is it the backs blocking? I mean, Jackson Bartell's had a nice football game. Not that he hasn't, but he's been playing very consistently well. What was like the key this week, or was it all of it, on the execution part that really got you started, had a fast start against Otsego?
Well, I think it's a combination of everything. I really think our offensive line is blocking at a high level for this point in the year.
Yeah.
And we've got multiple guys
Agreed.
kind of going in and out of there. And then, getting the backs on their blocks, obviously always helps. So, and then you mix in, we have really good running backs, I think, with Waylon, Gary, Thomas, and Jackson that, block for each other. And then somebody like Waylon is going to be really hard to contend with because of his size, speed, and strength. And when he gets to level 2 and into level 3, there's a good chance he's going to break tackles, make guys miss, and get a big play. And that's kind of what happened early.
A couple of players I wanted to watch just as an observer, just to get a better feel for, how they playing. But I really like the way Hunter Spangler's playing. I mean, I like the way they're all playing. I think Nick would say, you got 20 minutes, let's talk about them all. But Hunter being able to go from left tackle to center and do different things, that's a lot of load, intellectually to handle and then execute at a high level. Talk about Hunter Spangler and some of the things that you've liked that he's done early on.
Well, Hunter's very versatile.
For sure.
And he's a very intelligent kid, which helps. He understands blocking schemes and techniques. And then he's a big, strong kid. When he gets his hands on you, he's going to move you. And to be able to play kind of center, tackle, and things like that is a big luxury for us. And, he's blocking at a very high level right now.
Then you go to Waylon Rentz. You watch Waylon Rentz. For his size, he is not a track star speedster, but, man, he runs behind his pads and is a great he's got great vision. Of course, most Liberty center backs do, but he is really difficult to bring to the ground. He is playing low behind those pads and has an explosiveness and looks to contact a lot of times. Unique type runner, more of a traditional Rex Lindgren fullback, I would say, but offers another package of vision and some explosive speed. Talk about Waylon, because that was he put on a display Friday night.
He's going to be a handful, I think, as long as he stays healthy, because he's got the size that you would look for. He's 205 pounds. The speed is, he's not elite 100-meter dash speed, but he's fast enough where he's not going to get caught a lot. But his strength is off the charts. He's extremely strong. He's a physical runner. He's not going to shy away from contact, but at the same time he's got enough wiggle in him where he can make one cut, make a guy miss, and then break arm tackles. So he's tough to contend with, and he can run inside the tackles. He can run outside, and then his blocking is really, really good as well. And so he's kind of a complete back, and we haven't thrown him the ball a lot, but he's capable of catching the ball out of the backfield. And then when you get him matched up on a smaller kid in the secondary in the pass game, I think big things can happen.
I see Garrison Cruz got to spread out a little bit. I mean, an explosive player. with Ethan Gray, trying to figure out where he's going to go with his injury. Is that something you see going down the road that you're going to have Garrison do, not just being that half and wing, but a guy that can get inside that slot and do some things for you?
Yeah, we're trying to get him into spots where he's matched up one-on-one with guys
With
in
his
second,
size and speed.
because he is, against defensive backs, he's going to be a mismatch. Most defensive backs that we see are going to be under 6 foot. They're going to be under 180 pounds, and that's a size advantage for Garrison, a strength advantage. If you try to put a bigger person on him, you want to move a linebacker or a bigger DB out there, he's got the athleticism to make guys miss, and again, the speed to break tackles, and his strength is off the charts as well.
With Xander Zeider working through some illness and some injury, you've had guys like Noah Hammontree step up and give you some really important reps. That's the depth. We could sit there. There's 20 stories of depth on this team besides the frontline starters. Maybe talk about some of that depth and specifically some of the things that Noah has been able to ascend to do for you in some of these times of injury and illness.
Well, the plan with Xander at tight end was to give him some breaks on offense, so he could play majority defense, and Noah was part of that plan. He's got to be able to play some tight end for us at a high level and get the job done, and that was the plan going in. And once Xander got sick and then rolled an ankle last week, Noah's plays were going to increase, and he's done a really, really good job of blocking for us. And then that increased Jackson Lonzak up on the depth chart a little bit, and he's getting better and better, and he's a big weapon in the pass game. So we're really happy with how those guys have developed so early in the season, when I think maybe our plan was a few more weeks down the road they'd be at this level, and they kind of got pushed ahead of schedule, and they've really responded in a good way, and that's good to see. It'll make us better as we move forward.
And before we move to the defensive side of the ball, which is a ball that you're part of the ball you like to coach a lot, even though you do run the offense, people need to know you are kind of a defensive guru type of guy. So, but offensively, the quarterback spot, I know that's we talk about it, and you go to the grain elevator, and you go out to the Red Barn, and everybody's talking about quarterback. And I think those guys have been very capable and have executed the things you want to execute. But obviously, there's progression you're looking for. And obviously, you got two guys capable of doing different things. What is the plan at quarterback as you kind of look out into the season?
Well, I think the plan is, you want to have guys who are capable of executing the offense. And it can change from week to week based on what we're seeing and how they progress. They've got to have good practice weeks and things like that. We'd like to see more production in our passing game, and some of that is related to the quarterback. Some of it's unrelated. We probably had 3 pass plays called where, we didn't run it or execute it the way we intended to. We had a bad snap on one where the quarterback took off. Another one where the quarterback got the edge, and we've told those guys, if you get the edge and you can run, go ahead and run. And Grady did that one time, and then there's another time the quarterback scrambled out of there. So there's a couple pass plays where we felt like we could have had more production in the pass game, and just circumstances didn't allow for it. And then we missed a couple passes, so we need to get better at that. And it's still something we're going to work on a weekly basis and try to get better at.
Well, certainly the week before, too, there were a couple balls that should have been caught, too, that would have added to the completion percentage and yardage, too. And not that it's anybody's fault, but those things do happen.
Sure.
And sometimes you say, well, gosh, they only completed 2 balls. But there was probably 4 that could have been completed. Of course, they missed some throws as well. But the thought process on Grady, he does such a good job on the perimeter defensively. Like, he is almost like a lockdown corner. Such a good athlete and does a lot of good things. I know you've talked about Grady and some of that alternative pass game, splitting him out, different things. You've done some of that. He offers that option if you need to do that.
Yeah, he's a very versatile athlete. And,
Yeah.
Could do a lot of things. The only bad part about that is he's not able to concentrate on one thing and really perfect it. So you got to balance that with it. But he's capable of doing multiple things. Obviously we're working with him throwing. We think he can be a really good runner for us, and you could split him out as a 6'4" receiver and do some things. And then defensively, he's played really, really well for us.
Well, we've spent 9 minutes on offense, and quite frankly, the story of this team may be the defense. Matt Bryan has put together some fantastic game plans, suffocated teams weekly. I mean, he gets very little credit. He's just one of those guys that just gets to the chalkboard and draws it up, and you two do a lot of that together. Your staff does a great job. defensively, you're at the top of your game right now. The way this team is executing at the line of scrimmage in particular, you've got great linebackers, and then I don't know that we don't have the best defensive backs in the area. So talk about all three levels playing very well right now.
Well, I think if you go back the last, obviously, 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
including this year, defense is our strength. And, we can put numbers up on the scoreboard, but if you go back and look, a lot of that is set up by our defense getting a 3 and out and giving us great field position or creating a turnover for good field position. And that obviously makes offense easier. But there's no doubt the defense is the strength of this team. And it starts up front where maybe we don't have the superstars we had the last couple years, but the depth is the best we've ever had. We can put 8 or 9 guys out there and play at an extremely high level. We keep guys fresh, keep them hungry, and they've done a great job. And then our linebacking core is probably as deep as it's ever been as well. And we have a really strong starting group, and then we have a really good group of backups that, quite frankly, could probably start for most teams.
Yeah.
And we're rotating them in, and some young guys that have played at a really high level that are just getting better and better each week. And they all offer different things. Some guys are really good at just running around. Some guys are blitzers. Some guys are pluggers in there. And they've just done a great job. And then that makes our secondary better as well. When you have guys up front that can handle the run game and getting pressure on the quarterback, it makes things easier in the back end. And our corners are experienced. We've got a big, kind of strong guy that can match up with size, and we've got a smaller, quicker guy that can really play lockdown, and our safety positions are getting better and better each week, and we feel like are very versatile. And Thomas is somebody who's kind of back in the middle and doesn't get a lot of action, but he's done a really good job of kind of quarterbacking our
Keeping us
secondary,
organized,
getting us into the coverages and getting us lined up where we need to be. And those are things that go kind of unnoticed sometimes, but are really integral to what we're doing. But probably the biggest thing is each level we've got really good play, but they've really meshed together well, and they play together very well.
Well, we're going to talk about Thomas, and we have a very good running back, a traditional cutter, sees the line of scrimmage well, sees those plays develop. But where he's added so much value is a little bit what you did as a player. I mean, maybe not the fastest or the biggest hitter, but kept us organized on defense in some of those teams you played on. Particularly as a senior, you did some great work back there at that rover strong safety position. Thomas, a better athlete, probably a better player than you, but very similar to how you played the game.
Yeah, he's got a good grasp of what we're trying to do, and he's got experience. He played in some big games last year in the secondary for us, and that was big coming into this year. And our corners have that as well, but when you're playing wide on the sideline, it's hard to communicate that to everybody else, on the other side of the field. So having that guy in the middle of the defense, kind of being able to communicate with both sides of the football is key. And Landon Cruz was that guy for us last year, for the last 2 years. And, we knew we were going to miss that. And I think Thomas has done a good job of coming in and picking up where Landon left off in that regard.
Well, I think against Napoleon, it was really, it's you and it's Matt, but it's also Thomas, because that one play we gave up against Napoleon, he got erased. Mm-hmm. And you could see Thomas working the whole time. Like, he was very aware of the field and where those routes are being run and was on time and everywhere he needed to be. So I think he almost adds a half a coach on the field for you.
Hopefully he does. And we've got other guys at other levels that do that too. But, where he's at, 10 yards off the ball, you can kind of see everything. And that's kind of big for our defense.
Logan Cifuentes has really been a rising player on the defensive line. And I know that Nick Miller has been saying, hey, watch 62. Well, he really rose against Napoleon, made some plays, TFL, some hits on the quarterback. This week gets more reps. He's a player that I don't think people expected. He's given you some great reps and a lot of productivity in there.
Well, Logan's a blue-collar kid
who
just, brings his lunch pail to work and is, just goes out and has fun and is just a hard worker. And it pays off for him, especially on the defensive line where, he's going to give you everything he's got. He's got good size, good strength. Not the biggest kid around, but is probably stronger than what he looks.
And maybe nastier. He plays a little nasty sometimes.
You talk to him, and he's a kid likes to bale hay and talks about it all the time.
He does.
But those are kids you want.
Right.
They have a tremendous work ethic. They're not going to let a little thing stop them. When you put in that kind of work. So he's playing at a high level and hopefully continues to do that for us.
Here you are, 3-0. You've been here before many times in your career. You're not one to You're not one to like spend a lot of time on that. But 3-0 is probably optimal in the way you've executed, and a point in the second half more than the first. But state of the team at 3-0, how do you feel going into an Archbold game that, quite frankly, has been a war historically for this program? Talk about that briefly.
Well, at 3-0, this is kind of where you want to be when you end your non-conference schedule. It's obviously best case scenario.
But it's not just the record case; it's how you've played.
Yeah, well, and I think we see improvement each week in certain areas, and certainly we have improvement to make as well. But as we go into league play, kind of feel good about where we're at in certain areas and know we've got to get better in certain areas. But, the league play kind of is a different animal. These are teams that, we know very well. They know us very well. And you're playing, for a league title and things like that. So the stakes get maybe a little bit higher here, especially as you move forward in the season and things get tight, and then you're jockeying for playoff position and things like that. But Archbold's been a very, very good game for us for a number of years. They're very well coached. They got a lot of athletes. They're a little bit younger this year than they have been. But again, schematically and fundamentally, they're going to be really good.
Let's preview Archbold briefly as we conclude. What are our fans? What can we expect to see? I mean, this Archbold team, always good athletes, good quarterback play, well coached. You get along with that staff very well. Obviously, last year a little controversy in terms of our physicality, but we all work through those things. Talk about Archbold, some of the things they're going to present you, the challenges, and some things you're going to have to address to get a victory on Friday.
Well, offensively, they're going to spread you out, and they're going to work the entire field from sideline to sideline, stretch you vertically in the pass game, and then horizontally. They're going to run bubbles and slips and get the running back out wide, and then they're going to run up the middle, and they've got a running back who's really dynamic, kind of a smaller kid, but really shifty and quick, kind of hard to get a hold of. Quarterback's a big, strong kid who distributes the ball quite a bit, and they've got decent size on the outside with one or two receivers, and then they've got some guys that are a little bit quicker and smaller. So they've got a lot going on there, and then they're big. They've got some really big kids that if they start getting downhill, they can move you. Defensively is kind of the same thing. Up inside in their interior, they've got tremendous size, and if you're trying to run off tackle or in the middle, you're going to have a hard time moving them. And then behind that, they've got a lot of guys that can move and run to the ball. Again, they're pretty young. They've got 3 sophomores in the secondary that are new, but you can see them getting better each week, and they're out there because they're very athletic, and you can see that on film. So, and they're very fundamentally sound on defense, schematically, and when you can do that, you're going to be a very good defense. So we're going to have our work cut out for us trying to move the ball on them and get points on the board.
Last question. When you watch Archbold play, and we've all kind of got a taste of them, one thing that really you believe worries you the most? You worry about a lot of things. You plan for a lot of things. But the one thing that you would say, that keeps me up at night a little bit about Archbold, what would that be?
Well, I think, they really stress you defensively because they hit every area of the field. They're gonna roll the quarterback out and throw sprint outs and things like that, and then they roll them out and they throw back to the other side with a back leaking out. And, when the quarterback moves, the whole defense tends to move with him, and then all of a sudden they're leaking guys out the other way, or the safety moves out of the middle of the field and they hit a backside post, and then their ability to run the ball, and then they have a lot of formations. So your defensive secondary has to adjust to those formations. Sometimes they're in a bunch, unbalanced. Sometimes they're empty, and so your defense has to adapt to all that, and you do that enough, or you have to do it, and one mistake can lead to a big play.
Sounds to me like you have a lot to think about as Archbold comes in 2-1, Rex Lindgren Stadium, Kip Kern Field, Liberty Center 3-0. Casey, great start. Now the league begins, and it's all money to the center of the table against the Bluestreaks on Friday.
Yeah, big game, and we're hoping we play well and we can get off to a good start in the league.
That's our expectations. Good luck, Coach.
All right, it's back to the field to conclude the Swanton Welding pregame show. Scott Barrett, Jigs Babcock, and the one, the only, Spike!
Yeah. Welcome back, guys. Anxious to break this game down with two legends, Spike Whitman, our legendary play-by-play, and Jigs, Brian Babcock, our lead color. Spike, before we get into Archbold, I wanted you to reflect a little bit back on the 37-7 victory on the road at Otsego. Last time you and I were there, it was a tight game, 6-0 till late. We kicked a field goal to make it 9-0. And we went into that game with a lot of concerns on the road, first road game. Had some injuries, Xander Zeider, a couple guys, Clayton Seal still banged up. But we came out of that pretty good, played a real solid football game. A little sleepy in the second quarter, but came out in the second half, really fired it up. 37-7 win at Otsego. Spike, your thoughts?
Well, I think to begin with, we saw an Otsego team that knows how to play the game.
Yes.
It
Well
was
coached.
the right type of challenge for us.
Yes.
Because we needed to see somebody that had just a little more of that, And they brought it to us, but yet we were able to rise to the occasion, especially on defense. The defense looks as sharp as any defense I've seen at Liberty for years. And everything was pretty good to my naked eye. All right, now, this week, the focus was on a lot of the mental approach to the game of football. It was back to basics. A few notes I took. One thing is they stressed we need to improve our run blocking assignments. That's downfield. That's at the line of scrimmage. It's reading the defense and knowing where to go if the linebacker's here or if he shifts there or how they bring up the safeties. Everybody has to adjust, and it was a little lackadaisical according to the coaches. A run blitz is something they want to be able to stop this week. And they talked about how we lacked total discipline. And the coaches aren't just coaching game by game. These guys are building our Liberty Center Tigers to a crescendo later on in the year. But it's not just, well, let's win this football game and let's kick their heinies. This is about building a program and making it much, much better. That was the general focus. One other word they brought to the play, accountability. It is on your shoulders, not him or those. It is you that has to perform. Accountability was a watchword this week.
Well, I think accountability is all about championship football, and I think Casey and the staff do a really good job of not only making people accountable for assignments and doing what they need to do, doing your job, but a lot of rewards. You see them celebrating with the kids. They really enjoy coaching them even through mistakes, and I think this staff's a great teaching staff. A lot of experience, a lot of continuity, and a couple good points from last week's game. Brian, coming out of that Napoleon game, and we're going to talk about discipline in a second because I think this game's going to take that tonight to beat a good Archbold team. But last week, what struck you about that Otsego victory? I had a few insights, but anxious to hear what you called the game last week. Upon retrospect or upon looking back on that, what did you think about last week?
Yeah, I thought they were cleaner in the first half than they were in that Napoleon game. They started strong, started fast. I think they had a first play of scrimmage on offense. Waylon Rentz went to the house, so they started fast, responded again on defense, got a couple 3-and-outs, quick possessions, and before you know it, it was 21-0, and they were well in control of that ball game. So I think that was the difference. Discipline, not as many penalties,
right,
and really rolling on offense, and that's what happened last week.
I really felt like last week was a big game, 2-0, a new culture in that program, an old defensive coordinator that had great success designing a lot of different schemes to beat our run. They defended our run well the last few times we've been there. And of course, 5 years ago they came here on the opening night of Kip Kern Field and took it to us with a couple D1 and D2 athletes. But that Otsego game, now that it's in the rearview mirror, I wanted to go back and address that discipline piece because David Dominic is a heck of a football coach for Archbold. This is his 10th season. He has won 65 games the last 7 years. He has won 40 league games the last 7 years. He's won 2 league championships, and these two teams tonight own 5 of the last 6 league championships, 5 in a row, either Archbold or Liberty Center, or in 2019 we shared the championship. Mm-hmm. This is truly a championship-level game tonight against a championship-level football coach. And Spike, I know you talk about coaches and accountability and what the approach was this week, but looking at this Archbold team, last year they were 10-2 and really just had a fantastic group of seniors and really played well on both sides of the ball. This year, different. They're younger. Only 5 returning starters, but David Dominic is all about discipline. He will not shoot themselves in the foot. They do a great job on both sides of the ball. Talk about the Archbold that you've been seeing the last few years and what you expect tonight.
Well, they come up with some great skilled people.
Yes.
They've had a couple of quarterbacks that have just been lights out, and it's tough to beat one guy when he is that good. We've seen Archbold have great line play. They've got to have good coaching over there. After all, kick Liberty Center out of the equation, and what team is the best team in the entire area? And I don't mean just 4 counties, but the best program around. It's Archbold.
Yep.
They have great facilities. They've got a great town that backs the team. But so they're in the right position, but it still takes the leadership, Dave Dominic, with his coaching staff, to bring that along. It's definitely, this is not a walk in the park.
And certainly a blue ribbon program, Brian, and even it dates back to John Downey sits in the booth next to us, and that excellence in the late 70s and 80s through the 90s. So you're dealing with a legacy program here. Let's talk about the impact of a coach who is a championship caliber coach, but having to coach a lot of young players. 17 starters gone from last year on both sides of the ball. They returned 5, 2 on offense and 3 on defense. Very young in the defensive secondary. 4 of 5 starters gone. Very young on the offensive side of the ball. Only 1 returning starter, and everybody else has not played a varsity season. Talk about Dave Dominic's creativity and the way he's got a scheme around that inexperience.
Yeah, sure. I think you've seen it already. I mean, the fact that this team is 2-1 in an early season, they beat a decent Sonora team last week, went down to the wire. They came back against Genoa. So you're starting to see Archbold come back in these second halves, getting a little bit more confidence as these games go on. Fortunately, it's only week 4, and you don't got any more time. You're here at Liberty Center, and you got to scheme and try to go up against a Liberty Center team on offensive defense that has been dominant thus far. So, I think defensively for Archbold, they're going to try to stack the box like every team that goes against Liberty does, try to eliminate the run as much as they can, try to make us pass the football. And then on offense, they have not been able to run the ball that well thus far. They do have a very big offensive line. They got a bunch of younger kids. But if you look at the size differential tonight, you might see a larger Archbold offensive line versus Liberty Center's defensive line. So I think they're going to try to establish the run, because they got a quarterback back there that's been okay. He's thrown some nice balls, but when under pressure, not as much. So they have to establish the line of scrimmage on offense tonight, be able to run the football, so then that can play their pass game from there.
Sophomore Ryder Ryan, a 5'10" sophomore, leads both in rushing and pass reception, so he is a big part of their offense, but a lot of short passing game. They can get vertical down the field. They've got athletes there in the slot and on the numbers, but they really rely on the short control passing game, and Dave Dominic's wanted to run with this group because of the offensive line. Spike, talk a little bit about, not so much about last year's controversy and some of the physicality and all those things, but maybe address, this is a rivalry, historic rivalry, a lot of legacy in this game, a lot of heritage in this game. But talk about the switch from preseason, big lights now. This is the NWOL. You're hunting for essentially your 4th straight league championship. What's the mindset going into your first league game and against an opponent like Archbold?
Well, the kids know that they have to establish a new identity. It's coming off the coattails of that senior-laden team. I mean, we were able to play 16 games, so a lot of guys got a lot of experience, but we've lost a lot of starting positions.
We did.
So we're kind of in the same boat, but we were able, the coaching staff has been able to transition this bunch, get everybody a lot of reps, and so all of a sudden these guys are stronger. And we've seen the emergence of so many players, just their stock has risen astronomically in their skill level and their understanding what the coaches want out of them as a teammate, not just part of the team, but how to be a good teammate with everybody around you, how to work back and forth with your with your guy right beside you. There's so many little things that our coaches go after. It's not X's and O's per se, totally, but there are so many intangibles, the things you feel inside. It's the abstracts. That's where our coaching staff is hands down.
Second to none. Brian, talk about those teammates. We've had some early season injuries. We've had an injury to Xander Zeider, a key first-team All-League, first-team All-District, All-Ohio caliber player.
Yep. Baxter
Barrett tears an ACL, a very good special teamer. Yep. You got a guy that, Clayton Seal's been dealing with a knee issue like all season long. Yet a guy like Hunter Spangler can go from left tackle to right tackle to center. And then tonight we get a couple guys back. Clayton Seal comes back to us. We also get a guy named Tyler Lay, he comes back to our offense, which I think is a huge win for us at guard. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of inexperience that Spike talked about, but getting really good reps and performance for some of these offensive linemen.
Yeah, you really haven't seen a drop-off, even with right. Xander out the last couple weeks and some of these guys in and out. It's just building the depth. It is building the depth. The guys that have stepped in.
Steve Fuentes.
Yes, they've played really well, and what that does is it just continues to build the room. You don't just have two linemen that are really good and maybe a guy. You got a room now, and that's what's happening on almost every position on this football team, offensively and defensively. It builds the room, and we got a really good room in just about every area of the football team.
Well, let's talk about that too, where the defensive line is very good, lacks a couple of superstar All-Ohio players. Those linebackers have been phenomenal. Last week, Waylon Rentz was off the chart.
Yep.
I mean, it led the team in tackles, leads our team in tackles. Of course, he leads our team in rushing. And then he goes over to the offensive side and completely dominates a game with his physicality and showed breakaway. Talk about some of that linebacker play that you've seen. And even in the middle of the field, we're getting really good play by Thomas Moeller as the quarterback of that whole entire defense. There's a lot of elements to this defense that have put together some really strong early season performances.
Absolutely. And we said last week this is going to be a linebackers game because Otsego wanted to run it. They wanted to get downhill.
Well, it was, too.
And it was. I mean, Waylon Rentz, Stephen Brogan.
Walker. Max Walker
had a great game. And Lonazak had a good game, and so did Cruz. So the linebackers played really well last week. If you watch the film, replayed the film, they made a lot of plays. And that is probably the strength, I would say, right now of this defense. But you're right. Thomas plays a good center field back there. And our snipers are playing well. They didn't have a lot of opportunities last week because of the limited passing game. But you're going to see them tonight. They're going to have to show up tonight because Archbold will spread it out. They have some weapons on the outside. So it's going to have to be a complete defensive performance tonight.
Let me add quickly.
Yeah.
Linebackers coach Eric Weimer, who was probably one of the meanest young men that ever played.
One of the greatest players, absolutely.
That ever played for Liberty Center, told me, he said, Spike, this has got to be the best set of 6 linebackers that in my short coaching stint that I've had, but that I've seen, that I've heard about. And I got to believe him. I mean, they go 6 deep.
Yeah.
They've got T-Lay back now.
That's the 7th with Baxter Barrett being out. T-Lay fits right in nicely.
Oh, and yes, and he'll play several positions. Just the flexibility.
Yep.
It's just incredible.
Yeah, and it's the coach, too, the coaching, and then the study. I mean, if you watch these linebackers, the way they can diagnose.
Yes.
The way they are seeing plays before they're unfolding, beating guards to their spot to blow these plays up. It's an impressive thing to watch. You can't see it all the time watching live, but if you play some of this film back and you watch some of these linebackers' movements, diagnosis, and the way they are blowing plays up, it's a very impressive thing to watch.
You know, we've had really good play from a lot of players, but Jackson Lonazak has played really well at linebacker, but maybe even better at tight end. And you've got number 60, who has been a big surprise in Kellen Weimer.
Yeah.
Right.
I think Kellen Weimer has been that swing guy that could play left tackle, handle it, and not just fill in.
No,
but he has been
playing.
A great player. Yeah. Grades out very highly. Nick Miller speaks very highly of him.
Yep.
I know Todd Spangler thinks a lot of him. I know Brad Howe, of course, he taught these guards and centers, but that offensive line coaching group speaks highly of Kellen. And, of course, then you've got number 55, the Goose, Brady Giese, who's having an all-league year.
Yep.
He's grading out close to 100% in his assignments, and he's moving bodies. That offensive line, you thought you lose a Bachelman and a Navarre, and I thought, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
What are we going to do? Well, that's what we've done. We've plugged in a lot of dudes. and got away from some injuries. Talk about that offensive line that you're seeing. This running game has been dominant.
Yeah, it has been dominant. I mean, you're seeing running backs 5, 6, 7 yards before they're getting touched, a lot of these run plays. And, it's just the repetition of these guards. If you watch Stephen Brogan and Max Walker, the way they're pulling, and it's just contact, and it's contact, it's contact, and these guys just keep going. If it's the point of attack, and it's down the field as well, and then the Goose and Kellen Weimer setting the edge. This has been a very dominant offensive line so far, and they haven't really missed much of a step versus last season.
One of the things I like, Spike, is Garrison Cruz. They're starting to split him out, get him in the slot, get him out of the running back position. He's so fast and so skilled, has great hands and speed for his size. They're going to try to get the ball, I think, to Garrison Cruz tonight on a couple of plays in that controlled inside the hash passing game. Garrison is a complete rock star.
Well, Garrison is
sophomore.
So skilled.
Sophomore.
Yes. I mean, if you featured him as your top running back, the man would be a monster. I mean, he's got moves. He powers over the top, but he's a great blocker. He runs a great pattern from a tight end or a wing position. The kid's just got so much skill, and you see him in practice. He's not this bent-over guy that's just and I'm going to eat up the world, but he's laughing and having fun. He loves it.
One of the things I like, too, is Jackson Bartels had a great game last week.
Offensively and defensively.
And we're getting some very interesting return game yards out of JT Old Crew as well. I mean, just a lot of guys just stepping up and taking responsibility. Minute left here. Let's talk about keys to victory. Give me 2, Spike. Liberty's got to beat Archbold. This is the road to the 4th league championship. 2 things Liberty has to do.
Well, one thing is continue to play great defense.
Yes.
The defensive backs are so good that they can go single coverage.
Yes.
That helps free up the safety. The snipers.
Yes.
Now the snipers can play different roles, and then as good as the linebackers play, that helps everybody else play their game better. The defense. I'll take one. The defense.
Very good, Brian. A couple keys to victory.
Yeah, line of scrimmage. I think both offensively, defensively tonight. If we can control line of scrimmage, we win this game.
I want to see our quarterback play take another step.
Yeah.
This is a big one. There's games down the road, near-term big ones. We got to have the ability to throw the football, and when it's thrown well, we've got to finish catching it. Some of our younger players have made great catches and have dropped some balls. So tonight, I'm really looking forward to Caden Kreinbrink showing me something, and I really think Grady Miller takes a step. Quarterbacks tonight, quarterback play, very big. As we get ready for the pregame, guys, excellent job. 3-0 against 2-1 legacy game, Liberty Archbold. Mark?
All right, we're going to take a break here for the Alma Mater National Anthem, and we'll be back right after this.
To honor our students past and present, please rise to the performance of our Alma Mater, Dear Liberty, conducted by our senior drum major, Savannah Hernandez.
Okay.
That's a great job, guys. To honor our great nation, please remain standing. Ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats as we present our color guard, composed of members of the local VFW Post 6596 and American Legion 492. We live in a country with freedoms like no other. Please sing along as our band plays our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner.
Good evening, football fans. Tonight, it's another evening here in Rex Lincoln Stadium, Kincurn Field. It's the home of the Livingston Tigers. And here they come. Those white, knuckling men in black led onto the field by T-Lay, number 51. By the way, T-Lay back after 3 games out. That young man, I'm telling you, is ready to play some football. This team has been coached up all week. This is a mental game. We are going to win the mental battle.
Liberty Center won the toss and deferred. So they will kick to Archbold.
Okay. Does not surprise me. Casey Moeller wants that kick in the second half, but really wants to highlight his defense here, Brian. I mean, Matt Bryan and that defensive staff have been near perfect in some of these game plans that they've put together. So I'm really anxious to see how Liberty Center plays defense against what can be an explosive Bryan offense, very athletic but very inexperienced.
Yeah, this defense has been really flying around, Spike. If you watch the film, like in college, we always watch the film. We said when it's the end zone film, all 11 should be showing up in the screen, in that tight screen, and that's what happens with this team. All 11 rally to the football, and these guys show up in the screen, whether you're making the tackle or not. They are around the football just in case, flying. It's a race to the football, and this defense flies around.
Yeah, this special teams has been really improved, I think, this year.
Oh, my gosh, the coverage team, Spike.
Yes.
Brian Hefflinger has brought another level of attention, focus, discipline. He is a hawk. And I think the coverage teams in particular have been spectacular.
Yes.
And they're not all frontline starters. There's a lot of guys there that are rotational players, younger players. They are hungry to get on the field.
That's right.
That's right. And when you even get a small piece of the pie,
yes,
what do you want? You want more.
Yeah, Tyler Roars, Isaac Orth, they've been making a lot of plays on those outside gunners. Obviously, we're going to miss Baxter Barrel on the outside tonight. He was making a lot of plays on the kickoff there as well. So
Noah Hammontree has been a consistent performer, and one of our best tacklers, Blake Garber, really one of our fastest guys. That's another thing that Brian has done. Brian Hefflinger has done is put a lot of speed on the field. And you talked about it earlier. Isaac Orth isn't a burner, but he's got decent speed, and there's a bunch of guys on this special teams that can really get to it.
Yep.
Number 22, again, also Caden Sonnenberg, another fast guy. He's just going on the line. 26, Tyler Roars, he can run.
He can bring the hit.
Then you got number 57, Deegan Swigert, who likes to bring the noise.
Yep.
All right, Ian Rosebrock on the kickoff, high end over, and comes down at the 9-yard line. Return toward this Tiger side of the field, makes one cut, slithers through a hole, and gets up across the 20-yard line. You know what? He had a little seam, but the Tiger special teams closed well.
Yeah, they did. They closed that down there, Spike. Number 5, Ryder Ryan on that return. You're going to see him a lot tonight on offense. Young sophomore. He's got some speed. He can break one open and go and take one to the house. So you're going to have to keep an eye on him coming out of the backfield, running the football, and out of the passing game.
All right, getting us started nose guard tonight, Clayton Seal, number 71. That changes up.
Kyler Kern as well.
Yeah, Kyler Kern also getting some start. Now look, give up the middle, and he'll amble his way up across the 25 to the 27-yard line. That defensive unit, we've got Hunter Spangler at one tackle, Kyler Kern at the other tackle. Linebackers are Cruz, Waylon Rentz, Steve Brogan. You'll see T-Lay in there a lot. You'll see Jackson Lonazak in there and Walker. So that group will be interchanging, and now we've got a player down.
Is that Hunter Spangler there?
I think it is. Spangler down there holding his knee. Hopefully.
Do not like that. Hunter has been one of the most versatile players we've had here. Tackle, center, dominant defensive lineman. So hopefully that's not serious. But
looks like Hunter he plays with knee braces there. So let's hope it's nothing serious here.
Casey coming out on the field. First snap on offense. Don't like to see it. But, a little preview as to what I think Archbold is hoping they can get done today is run the football a little bit, take some pressure off that young quarterback and those inexperienced skill guys. But Kurt Kruger is a senior but just lacks a lot of experience. This is his first year as a starter. And you'll see sophomore Jarrett Rufinock also get some snaps tonight. They like to run two quarterbacks a little bit like we like to do.
Yeah.
One guy runs a little bit better, one guy throws a little bit better. Yep. So this is something pretty serious for this football team, as Hunter's been an incredibly important player for us.
All right, well, now he's sitting up. His legs are bent at the knees, so it isn't like it's a total wipeout injury here. But, shaken up. We'll see what
you get in them trenches, and you got bodies falling on you, and a lot of stuff can happen on the inside there.
There are certain guys you want and certain guys you have to have, and he's a have-to-have guy.
Yeah,
and I don't know.
Sure.
We're going to see training staff will get on top of that knee and give it some physical work. But, man, this is brings back a little memory from last week when Baxter on special teams
Yeah, you hate
took
these
his
injuries.
ACL.
These guys work so hard.
All
you
right.
get into the season,
now
you just hate to see it.
Yes.
Xander Zeiter comes onto the field to take
Xander heavily taped there on the ankles. I think he's been battling a little bit of an ankle.
All right, Tigers now show 3 down linemen, but the linebackers up also on the line. Now give off.
Oh, yeah,
Zeiter
Stevie.
hit the backfield
There
right
we
there.
go.
That's a smackerino.
Nice job there by Kyler Kern to set that edge. And Stephen Brogan, there's that diagnosis we're talking about with some of these linebackers, the way they can read and react before these plays get going. Right there to make the play, Stephen Brogan and Kyler Kern.
We don't have, on this team, we don't have an MVP player. But Steve Brogan fills about 10 million different roles.
Yeah, he does. He's a tough
and
player.
Right there, he reared that ugly head again. All right, 3rd down, we'll call it 6 to go. They 2 wide outs to either side, now motion over here. Archbold with double receiver to the short side of the field. Out of the gun, Tigers show blitz, dropping back in pressure. Up there and incomplete. Super coverage by Cam Colley, number 7. That's what we were talking about with such good coverage by our cornerback.
Yeah, and there's the pressure there, too. Number 7, Kurt Kruger, was on his back, didn't have a lot of time, and he can throw a decent ball if he has time. If he does not have time, he is not as good, and you saw the pressure there, and that throw was errant.
Well, Brian, you talked about it in the pregame. When you get pressure and you make early throws, Cam Colley was right there, potentially for a pick.
Play blown dead.
That pressure from Liberty Center is going to be a big part of containing that passing game from Archbold tonight.
Offsides Liberty here.
That's a 5-yard walk off the long way.
I am guessing Archbold is not going to go for it here inside their 35-yard line.
All right, that'll move the ball up to the 32. They need a yard, but still in punt formation, standing back behind the 20-yard line. Good snap, kind of a line drive.
Right into the sun, great catch there.
Nice job there. Cam Colley, now he's a little upset with himself.
Yeah.
He wanted to return the ball.
Yeah.
But the big thing is, and Coach Mulder preaches this every week, catch the ball, catch the punt. They taught every Saturday morning in films, catch the punt, come up and get it. We don't want to give away 15 free yards on a bounce.
That's right, especially into that sun. Really important to field that one.
Clayton Seal plugs right in to center, and this is something that, he's one of the best centers in this league, and it's able to kind of tune up with some of the guard restructuring given the injury to Hunter Spangler.
All right, Tigers show a double wide out to the wide side, out of the gun, dropping back to throw. And almost picked off.
Pressure.
Somebody, there was an assignment that didn't fit right there, and nobody home. And Liberty Center.
Lucky that ball could have been picked off.
If Grady got his arm hit there.
He did get his arm hit.
It's kind of what it looked like. Yeah, that underneath linebacker.
He did.
It looked like it. That pocket was closing in on him. First read wasn't there, and kind of double clutched it.
Now Tigers in a run formation. They show sweep. Now ball dropped. Picked up by Miller. Running room there. Breaks out into the open. And unbelievably, he's at the 30. He's leaving a trail of would-be tacklers behind. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. Yes. Broken play. Miller scooped it up, turned it up, kicked it into gear, and he's gone.
Yeah, you don't see that very often, Spike. A drop snap and to go untouched to the house. Grady Miller there. Archbold has struggled consistently stopping the run, might be a little bit of a insight of what.
Well, that left side of our offensive line
was
caved Archbold right down. There was nobody there, Spike.
Yeah.
I mean, once he picked up the muffed snap, it
was that a
nobody.
designed run there, do you think?
I don't
kind
know.
of looked like that was almost a designed run for
Well,
the
certainly
left side of that offensive line, tackle Kellen Weimer.
Certainly the way it
Guard,
was blocked.
Steve
We're gonna see it
Brogan.
again here.
And, of course,
Or maybe Thomas was supposed to get that on the handoff, probably.
Look at Tyler Lay.
Yep, T-Lay
Key block for the
downfield.
touch.
Yep.
That's a touchdown block by
That's
senior
right.
Tyler Lay.
Yep, very nice.
Boy, these replays really show our fans, Brian, how the anatomy of a touchdown. You just look at the runner and the quarterback, and that's awesome. It is not that.
That's right.
It is what 51 just did right there. Tyler Lay with a touchdown block, stayed in contact with his man and drove him down the field. Liberty Center touchdown on what looked like a broken play.
Guys, that's 3 weeks now that Liberty's scored on the first play and or the second play of the offense.
Yeah, this is a quick strike offense. You know, you don't normally look at a running game as a quick strike, but boy, this Liberty Center offense is well tuned and they can strike quickly with this dominant run game.
Now for the kickoff team, Blake Garber, the wide guy on the far side. Over here, Caden Sonnenberg. They approach the kick. Line drive spinning end over, bobbled back there at the 10-yard line. Finally scooped up, runs for a little daylight. He'll get up across the 25-yard line. Archbold, nice job of keeping a little bit of a seam there and allowing the runner to get back up to the 24-yard.
Yeah, you can see there, Spike, number 5, Ryder Ryan. He's got some quick movements. He's got some good straight line speed here, too, and we're going to have to keep him under wraps here tonight out of the backfield.
Number 62, Logan Cifuentes, who's had a really nice run here as a rotational player. Second defensive series plugged in here at defensive end.
All right, now Archbold comes out with an empty backfield. 5 wideouts, 3 to the wide side, out of the gun. Drops back, looks, throws, hard caught over there, up at the 30-yard line. Defended by Grady Miller. You know, and that's another thing. On the defense, with the defensive backs, the coaches have preached, and they continue to do it all week. Don't give them so much room.
Yeah.
Play up on them.
Yeah.
You guys are great cover people.
That's
you
right.
can afford to play up in their face.
Yeah, these corners are locked down most weeks, and you're right, Spike. They can afford to play tight and almost play press and not worry about getting burnt deep because of the makeup speed between Grady and Colley.
All right, so Archbold doesn't want to slug it out at the line of scrimmage with us. They're bringing a 3 wide out set again. They're going to give it off that right side, hitting the backfield. He's going to be stuck for a loss of a couple. Nice penetration. Let's get the number. I believe that was Cam.
No, number 62.
62.
Okay.
Logan Cifuentes, Spike, was the first guy on it. I mean, he's been doing that a lot. Penetration, beat his man off the snap. He is quick off the snap, and he is powerful.
And the Canadian mafia's up there rooting for him.
Yeah, that's right. All right, a loss of 3 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 6 now. Archbold shows that same wide set. He looks upfield, has to scramble. Got running room. Tigers close fast.
They got a hold.
And there's a stinking rotten.
No, Gary Cruz got tackled.
Yeah, it looked like Gary was coming around the edge there, and that he didn't really have a choice because that quarterback was about to get one, and the offensive lineman held.
One thing I will say with this young offensive line that Archbold has, you know, they don't move that well. They're very good in with guys in front of them, but they're inexperienced. They haven't seen the speed and athleticism, you know, that you see from, you know, Gary Cruz and Waylon Rentz and Stephen Brogan. They're explosive players, and I think those young kids just they haven't seen enough snaps to handle that kind of power and quickness.
I've got a question. Had that not been a hold, and Liberty Center's got to watch out because this offense, this is an Archbold offense. This is good stuff now. It's going to make our defense play. All right, 3rd and 16. Ball way back around the 15-yard line. Drops back to throw. He'll throw the home run ball. Got a man wide open. Hit, and that's going to be well over enough for an Archbold first down up near midfield.
Yeah, it looked like a cover 3 there, Spike. Thomas is right on there, just a hair late. Pretty good ball there by the quarterback.
Call it if you want it.
Right on the post route, and Big gainer there for Archbold.
Nice throw by quarterback Kirk Kruger.
Right,
I mean, it was soft and well thrown. And number 12, Morgan Harris, makes a great catch and a big conversion for Archbold.
All right, that was a 32-yard pickup on the long bomb. All right, out of the gun again. The ball at the Archbold 47. Now he'll keep it around that right side. He's
Cifuentes.
Wow, what a job. Liberty Center swarmed to the tackle. Cifuentes, the diesel dips. Boom, bang, bong, pow.
You know, his ability the last 3 weeks to just ward off blockers and make solo tackles, that was one right there.
Well,
just destroyed his man for the solo tackle. What a play.
Stephen Brogan was on the spot, too. There was no room, but great job by Logan Cifuentes.
That 60 numbers flashing here so far, 62 and 63, making a lot of plays.
All right, Garrison Cruz now lines up on the line like a defensive end from his linebacker spot. Out of the gun, throws down underneath over here in the flats. Tigers swarm to that one. Jackson Bartell slams it down after about only a 4-yard gain.
17, Carter Bryant.
You know, going back to that deep pass route there, Spike, as a deep safety in the third, those hardest routes are those ones coming to the post like that are kind of out of your periph. You can't quite see it. You're looking up. You're trying to see both. And if you got two threats in your zone in that deep third, that's a tough route to look up.
Now, where were our corners at on that
Yeah, so
play?
they pass off. So they got the third. They break the third field. Each corner's got a third, and the deep safety's got a third.
All right, tripped receivers to the wide side. 3rd down and 8. Dropping back. Has time to throw.
A lot of time
now
here.
Rolls to his right. Tigers allowing him. Now they come up.
Ooh.
Hit. Slowed down, and he's going to be brought down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. The Tiger defense holds on 3rd down.
That was a good play. You know, I was surprised there. Kirk Kruger was able to ward Waylon Rentz off. Looked like there was going to be a big collision.
Yes.
Was able to shake him off a little bit. I haven't seen much of that in film, so competitive play there by Kirk Kruger. Nice stop there at Liberty Center.
All right. Tigers have Old Crew back deep. Old Crew calls for the fair catch in a crowd. Boy, that takes guts. It takes courage. It takes that good old-fashioned intestinal fortitude, but we hung in there, saved a lot of field position. Well, so the Tiger defense holds, and they'll take over.
Spike, you talked about it earlier. Casey Moeller has some very specific things he wants in his punt return. And number 1, 2, 3, and 12 is catch the damn ball.
Yeah.
And those guys do a great. And you said it, Spike, too. JT Olcrew, he is a problem. You can't play one-hand touch with that guy.
Yep.
He gets some open field. You watch for a big special teams play by JT.
All right, Cam Colley spread out wide over here. The Tigers shift over into a double wing package with a single setback out of kind of like an eye. Now they're going to run a jet sweep. Give off to Cruz.
Don't give him no room.
With a straight arm. Uses another
oh
straight
my.
arm. Stays on his feet down the
sideline. Get off me.
Boards off the tackle and bounces and pounces and grabs and jigs his way down to the 45-yard line of the Bluestreaks.
Man, these stiff arms from this running back room, it is fun to watch. When you can just take a helmet and just throw guys to the ground. We've seen that a couple times now here, Waylon Rentz and Garrison Cruz. Not only that, but Gary can also turn it up and break one loose. Great run there, Garrison Cruz.
37 yards of scintillating power, straight arms, and goonmanship. All right, in motion. They're going to give a little dive. Breaks one, still going. Cruz comes right back.
I think Garrison Cruz missed an opportunity on a cut there. He runs right into the back of one of his offensive linemen, and I just think one step to the right, he's off to the races. But look at that backfield spike. Garrison Cruz, 6'2", $2, and then Waylon Rentz, another 6'1", buck 215. Good luck. That is a load with speed, both of those dudes.
Jackson Bartell's now in the backfield. He'll shift over into a wing-back spot to the right. Rentz and Cruz in the backfield. They're going to play action.
Rentz is wide open.
He's got a man out there wide open. Caught at the 20-yard line.
Hammontree.
Picked it up again.
There we go.
Hammontree grabs it. Breaks one tackle.
Touchdown.
Into the end zone. It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
I I'll tell you what, Noah bobbled that thing, but he reeled her in, and he got to the end zone. Great makeup play there by Noah.
Not only did he bobble it, but he was a little loose with the football across. They had two guys that did not have anybody on them for 15 yards. Waylon Rentz was wide open as well.
Yes.
That just, you talk about it all the time, Brian. When you have a dangerous running game, that play action pass is deadly.
As a safety in a corner, you get your eyes in the backfield, and it's tough. It is tough to be disciplined.
Good hold. Kick is up. Fitzenreiter on the snap. Kreinbrink on the hold.
That's what that play action.
Rosebrook drives it through again. Liberty Center with 6 minutes left here in the first period to lead it 2 touchdowns to 0.
Yeah, that's what that play action does for you, Spike. Just freezes those linebackers, safeties, and corners. And you get one step, and you're coming up as a safety, and that tight end's right by you, and it's over with by that point. And that's what you saw right there.
I want to see this
delivery
replay
there by Grady Miller.
I want to see this replay if we can get it out. Watch Waylon Rentz and Hammontree just wide open. Waylon, look at
the safety. He's gone.
I mean, look at 15. He's 25 yards down the field. I mean, these Archbold defensive backs, Brian, are young.
Yeah.
They lost 4 or 5 starters, and that shows up on play action. Because they're trying to run support, but that's not their number one job.
That's right.
And they gave it up there on a big play action touchdown.
I've done it. It is hard.
Hey,
it is
you have
hard.
been there. I coached you. You were there as a sophomore.
I did it against Delta when they're just running 10 times and you got your eyes, and all of a sudden that tight end's behind you, and you go, uh-oh, it's too late.
That shows up on film. That shows up on film on Saturday.
This Liberty Center offense has had a zillion plays this year so far, over 20 yards.
Explosives all day long.
Do it again, a couple of 40-yard plays. Now high end over end. Now that's going to go about 3 yards deep into the end zone. Ian Rosebrock with 2 straight successful kicks. Now starting to feel it. He boots it into the end zone. Archbold has to start at their 20.
Once again, we talk about it every week, but you having to start the ball, start your drive at your own 20 and drive this thing 80 yards every possession. That's tough to do. That is really tough to do. I mean, I think if you look at, I wonder what the average starting point on a high school kickoff is, but I would say it's probably 30, 35 typically. That's 10, 15 yards every single time for Liberty Center.
That's Max Walker.
The Diesel at one defensive end, Zeiter the other defensive end. And Zeiter in there. Now they throw a little dump pass inside, makes a great cut with a block, and coming across, stopping that in its tracks. Waylon Rentz up at the 23, holds it to just 3 yards.
Yeah, Caden Sonnenberg there, he had made a great initial play, got around that blocking, pulling guard or tackle, whatever that was. Couldn't quite break down to make the play, but he made him change his position, and the support was able to make the tackle.
Great fill by the Liberty Center Tiger defense. All right, we've got Zeiter in the middle, Kern on the right, Caden Sonnenberg now, a linebacker up on the line of scrimmage on the right side. Quick drop, throws it short, hit right away by Cam Colley. That's only going to be a gain of about 3 on the play. It will bring up 3rd down and, maybe about 4 yards on the play. That's going to make it 3rd and 1.
Yeah, Cammy was all over that one. Got to be careful. You keep throwing those. Cam Time's one of them babies. He's going to take one of the house because he can really jump a route. That guy can really jump a route.
All right, Grady Miller spreads out wide on defense to take the outside man. You've got trip receivers over there with a single setback, tight end to the right. Quarterback's going to hand off.
Oh, yeah.
There's got to be nothing doing there. And once again, the Liberty Center Tigers stop up for a loss. Yes!
Yeah, that was Xander Zeiter, too, at the point of attack.
Yep.
Again, just gets his paws on his tackle and just rips him away, beats the block. Xander at 70% is better than most guys at 120.
That's right.
Great play by Xander.
That's right. And you've seen, Archbold, I think they're not abandoning the run yet, but they're starting to see that it's probably not going to happen on the ground. We're going to have to pass the ball.
That's going to go over his head. It's back to the end zone. He's trying to pick it up. He's going to get rid of it. He got a short boot out there, takes a good Archbold roll, and it'll only make it across the 30-yard line. So, in essence, after the high snap and bobble, only a 12-yard punt for Archbold. Liberty Center sitting in the
Maybe the catbird seat.
Tiger bird seat. Tiger bird seat.
Yeah, that's just something you cannot do. You're on the road, younger team. playing against a dominant Liberty Center team, you can't have plays like that from Archbold and give a short field.
It's a miracle that he got that ball to the 31.
It is.
All right, Liberty Center now with Garber and Cam Colley. They're going to run a power sweep coming around the right side. Wrench tripped up. T-Lay had his man smothered laying on the ground. Somehow he reached up and grabbed the shoelace.
Miscut. He puts his right foot in the ground, Brian.
He was gone.
Oh, man, it was there. And I think Waylon, when he tripped over that guard and tackle on the ground, he's like,
Did T-Lay?
T-Lay was a great
it
block.
was a great block
by T-Lay.
I don't think Waylon could adjust in time. He couldn't make that cut in time.
All right,
happened a little bit
Hammondtree,
late.
the tight end over here, double wing set in motion. They're going to give it to the motion man. And picked up there, slams around and spins off of that, picks up 5 tough yards. Cruz.
Good patient run there by Gary to stay behind his blocks, let that thing develop.
Offensive line, Spike, really starting to lean on this young Archbold front. Great lead block by Waylon Rentz, doing a Clayton Seal, moving his guy, left tackle. Weimer starting to lay some licks. This Archbold defensive line is under duress.
All right, under center. Motion coming this way. They're going to throw a little dump out there. Up to Cruz. Cruz runs past one man, slips and flames his way forward down inside the 20, down to about the 17-yard line. A pickup of about 10 on the play. And, boy, that was crime brink on that little swing pass.
Yeah.
Woo, doggy, where did they pull that play
little
out
interesting.
of
It's a fake dive, little pass. It was dangerous.
That looked
he
a little
almost hit the defender.
That looked a little tricky, not tricky to me, boy. Erase that from the playbook.
The Tigers show double wing package again in motion. They're going to give it straight ahead on a dive to Rentz. Rentz pounding his way forward, still on his feet, still grinding inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line, and that's close to first down yardage again.
Just a basic zero trap. Yeah. And, Archbold front did a good job. They squeezed that hole down, but Waylon got skinny in the hole and then squared up. And
he's just so powerful.
And then he's just driving those guys, carrying those guys through the line of scrimmage.
He got every facet of being a top-notch running back in his logbook.
Yep.
All right, out of the gun is Crime Brink. Hands off on a double
78 there, blew that play up.
Runs into a buzzsaw, and Tigers lose a couple on that.
David
That'll
Oregon.
bring up third down.
He's a big fella now.
Tough to move.
He's probably their best defensive lineman, and you could see it. That's a big man out there.
Seeing some of that option little RPO kind of some of the stuff that not accustomed to seeing in the offense, but I like it a little bit.
All right, Kleinbrink out of the gun. He's got Rentz back with him with trip receivers to the wide side. He's going to throw it out there and knock down a really tough defensive play by Archbold.
Tight window, good coverage by Ryder Ryan, but I thought that ball was put where only one guy could catch it. So really nice throw by Caden Kramer.
It was. He put it right on him.
A good, hard, quick out route. Now Liberty Center with the decision. They've got 4th down and 3. The ball on the 10-yard line. They need to get down to about the 7, I believe. They're going to go for it under center. They're going to pitch it, cutting up. No, outside. Red stays on his feet, dives down inside. He's down around the 9-yard line, and that is going to be, I'm afraid, a little short, a yard short. And the ball turned over on down.
Little cutesy pootsy on a couple of those plays that did not really pan. I think that was a little different for us.
I'm okay with it. Listen, I think we need to
put some stuff on film a little bit.
Put some stuff on film. We need to work on the passing game and some of these plays.
Now,
even if it's not going to add to points at times, you got to work on some of these things. And I think that's what you saw there.
Done a couple of good things here.
That was a nice stop.
A great stop, more than our shortcoming.
Yeah, I think we got a little creative with the playbook, and then that was a good stop there on 4th down.
Okay. All right. Now motion back to the short side of the field. They're going to try to run a stinking little dive, and that's going to go nowhere again. The Tiger defense refuses to give up yardage.
Waylon Rentz again on that tackle. I think he's in on about every other one here so far. That guy is just a magnet for the football. Diagnosis, flying to the football, just around all the time.
Point of
Wayland
attack all-star.
Ooh.
All right. Now Archbold shows 2 wide outs to the wide side. Motion toward that wide side. Long count. Drops back. Now into the end zone. Has to scramble.
Kyler
breaking
Kern.
away
Ooh,
from the
big hit,
tackle.
too.
Good job to fight that off. That was that Kern or was that?
Yeah, Kyler Kern, I think initially there, Spike, and then Waylon Rentz put the hammer there at the end.
Yeah, Kern did a great job to fight off that block.
He did. He fought his block off, kept him inside, eliminated that big gain.
That's a Kern for you here on Kip Kern Field. Oh, baby, you gotta love it.
Archbold dodged an incredible bullet on that bad snap on that punt. They're going to let this clock run out. But man, oh man, I'll tell you, Archbold's like a cat, 9 lives because they've escaped some very tricky situations. Liberty's linebackers and defensive line are just absolutely taking it to Archbold right now. Spike, I would argue our running backs right now are more physical than Archbold's defense.
Yes, sounds good to me.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors: KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them.
We'd like to say thank you to the Liberty and Washington Township Fire Department for preparing this week's outdoor meal.
All right. Liberty Center, they're in the 4th game of the year. They're tough. They're explosive. They are very physical. But yet there are still cracks in the armor that continue to need to be worked on. Folks, you out there watching and listening in, this is a great Liberty Center Tiger team. But the players know it. They understand about accountability. There's a lot to be worked out here yet for Liberty Center as this season progresses.
Yeah, absolutely, Spike. You just want to continue to refine your craft, read your keys, know your role, listen to the coaching, and continue to do your job and continue to refine your position.
All right, the ball's on their own 11-yard line, 3rd and 8. Definitely a passing play. Drops back, looks, throws out there short, way short. Boy. He got blasted by
Stephen Brogan.
Yes.
Stephen Brogan is one of the most effective blitzers for the linebacker position that we've seen in the modern era.
Yeah.
That guy gets through his block and then delivers some serious punishment to the quarterback.
He is, to me, the old days in the 60s of the Pittsburgh Steelers middle linebacker
70s,
types. I mean, this
just
guy
keeps coming.
Is the paramount. He is the GOAT when it just comes to toughness. That was almost blocked by Weimer. Picked up there inside the 45. Boy, Weimer about got there.
Yeah,
about
he did.
Got a paw on that baby.
Cammy with a little risky one there. He wanted a little taste. He wanted to try to get him one there. I wouldn't have picked that ball up.
No.
Not with all those guys barreling down on me. No, sir.
34-yard punt, and Liberty Center again in this football game has superior field position.
Yeah, you just continue to see the dominance on defense that leads to this field position, possession after possession, Spike, and they're just short field, and it just makes offense easier.
Garber and Colley spread out wide to the far side. I believe we've got Gary over here. And it's going to be a keeper. Miller kicks to the outside. He takes a great block from Coos, heading down the sideline. He makes another man there, dives over the top, and he's down to the 2-yard line, a 43-yard burst. What a job. Cut to the outside. Had a great block from Gary Cruz out there, and that sprung him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Liberty Center knocking on the door.
Yeah, and that's what we want to continue to see from Grady Miller. Very capable runner. Big kid. He can stride it out. He's got good speed. He's a good athlete. Love to see some of that in the offense. Another realm.
Blocker on the left, T-Lay on the right as the guards. There's Miller going to keep it again. No, that was Rentz on a direct
standing
snap.
up.
Whoa! Is that even legal?
Wildcat, 1928 Newt Rockney stuff there.
Whoa!
No better guy to run the Wildcat than the big boss
Yikes.
man, number 19.
That's the guy you
Waylon
don't want to
Rentz.
meet in the hole there. That is not the guy.
And the Liberty Center Tigers showing a few new shakes and
Wrinkles.
bakes. They want to get it on film. They want everybody in the state
Plan
to
for
know
it.
that Liberty Center is capable of doing other things. That's great call. Great snap by Fitzenreiter. Good hold by Greinbrink, and the kick is good once again by Ian Rosebrock. And with 45 seconds gone in only the second quarter, it's 21-0 Tigers.
Grady Miller in the run game, we've kind of been waiting for
Yeah.
it a little bit.
Right.
He's done a little here, a little there, but those two design runs, even the first one broke down, Grady showed a gear there on the sidelines.
Yep.
Archbold defensive back had an angle.
Yep.
He ran through that angle.
Yep.
I mean, Grady Miller is an outstanding athlete.
Yep.
All you have to do is go to a basketball game.
He's a big kid.
He's a big dude.
Yeah.
He's got some speed, and he can be physical. And, boy, those two runs he's had
This is an
tonight have been-
aspect of the offense that we've not seen.
Yep.
And I don't think we've not seen it because they haven't had to really show it yet. But I'm telling you right now, you got to count for that guy on offense because he can go get one too now. That's a guy you can give 10, 12 carries a game.
Well, you know what that's like. That's what you did.
And the body can hold up.
That's what you did.
Right.
That was your deal.
And then he can go play a really good corner yet. So
Spike Brian Babcock, as you recall, was an outstanding running quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
He could run power keeps and boots and naked boots as good as anybody in the modern era.
A boomer. That's going to go all the way back to the 2-yard line. Returned up the right hash mark. Breaks
Nice
through
hit.
one and
Tyler
brought
Lay.
down. T-Lay in there on the original hit.
You know,
yes.
Tyler Lay is one, I think, invented the big explosions. His freshman, I don't know if his freshman or sophomore year on these kickoffs, he was just blasting people.
He was a highlight on coverage teams.
We got a ball up here. Heck of a throw.
We got footballs up here just flying, and Spike just fumbled it, man.
Libby Zeiter with just a hose down
Yeah.
We got to get Libby Zeiter to play some softball with that cannon, man.
At
Let's
least
go.
Cannon-Tree hung
Queen,
onto his pass.
the Queen can throw it.
All right, so from the 20-yard line, here's the Bluestreaks out of the gun. Little play action over the middle.
he's
Wide open is a tight end. He's going to kick it outside. A great block there. Shaking off of that is Miller. He'll throw him out of bounds at the 45-yard line, but a pickup of 25 yards. Miller got blocked, shielded off, fought through it, though, and got him knocked out of bounds.
Yeah.
But
Waylon Rentz, Spike, was read and run, but it wasn't run.
Yeah.
That was his hook zone.
Yeah.
He got his nose in the line of scrimmage, and he stood over the top for 18
I saw
yards.
Eric was getting after somebody. Must have been Waylon on that
All
one.
right, so now the Bluestreaks shaking up a little bit here. They've got a 1st and 10 at their own 45-yard line. A double wide out to the wide side with a single setback. Out of the gun. 3-step drop, sets up a screen. Good block there, but the Tigers swarm to that. Caught at the 50, and he'll fall forward down to the 47. It'll be a gain of 7 yards for Archbold.
Yeah, two good calls in a row, Spike.
Yes.
The screen pass. A lot of times you call the screen when you got a very aggressive defense. It's coming downhill, coming at you, and you saw that there. And then that misdirection on that tight end to play earlier. A couple good calls here by Archbold's offense.
All right, who we got in there at nose guard now?
That's number
is,
62.
Dipped, yeah, the
Logan
Diesel.
Cifuentes.
All right. Now they're going to hand off. A little kick to the outside. Met right there. Slowed down.
That's a fumble. Looks
Did
like
Liberty
Liberty
get on that
Center
one?
football.
Cruz a
I think they
fumble
got on
the
it.
Play. I was watching Cruz get up after the big hit.
We got a fight
And
under
we
there.
got a scramble. It was a gain of maybe a yard on the
That's
play.
Liberty's
and they're
ball.
going to kind of sort
That's
this
Liberty's
out.
ball.
That looks like, I don't know.
I'm not sure the referees know yet. Now they're going to.
Lineman might have got on it.
Archbold.
It's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 here. Big
Who
play here for
closed
Archbold.
on that tackle?
That was number 30, Garrison.
Yeah, Cruz got the first hit, slowed him down. He bounced off of that, and then the Tigers swarmed to that tackle. So 3rd down and 2 now, the ball at the Tiger 47.
Archbold offense showing a little bit here.
Now, David Dominic is a creative offensive
he
mind,
is.
and he's finding his way, matriculating down the field here in the second quarter.
Okay, out of the gun, trip receivers to the far side. Looks, has time, throws the home run ball. Single coverage,
Nice
intercepted
pick.
back there at the 10-yard
Get
line.
up, Cammy.
Now turns it up, kicks to the outside, following a wall of blockers. Breaks
Uh-oh.
it up the middle, kicks to the outside.
flag. We got a flag,
We're gonna
flag.
have a hold. Cam
We got here,
Alley
maybe a
picked
hold.
it off at the 15, returned it to the midfield stripe, but a stinking, rotten, no good yellow flag, and it's hard to say where it's going to be.
Very
we
nice.
go.
It's on Archbold. It's going to be turned away. They don't want that yellow flag. They want the green real estate.
You know, one thing about Cam Colley, amongst other nice things as a corner, is his ability to read the football and gain ground in the air.
Ball
he wasn't even
skills.
close to that. But, boy, he went and found that football for the pick.
Let's leave that pick. Boom, boom, you got that pick. Watch Cam Colley turn his back and get to
Watch
the
his
ball.
makeup speed here.
Great ball skills by 7. He's out on the numbers, makes an adjustment. Look at his back's to the line of scrimmage. Now it becomes a punt return,
Yep.
and Cammy
That's where he
is
excels.
dangerous as a punt returner.
Big
All
play
right,
there.
now Liberty Center now with the ball turned back over to them. Ball at their own 48-yard line, and now we're going to get a flag.
Maybe some movement.
I don't know if they got off the field. I think we had too many men.
Illegal procedure. Too many men on the field.
Hey, I like some of the stunts we're coming up with, and I'm liking the fact that Archbold's a very game team. I mean, they're showing things to Liberty Center like these screen passes, like the home run ball. This is good stuff for Liberty
Yes,
to
it is, Spike.
learn from.
Hey, David
Bring
Dominic.
it.
David Dominic is going to stress us in places that we haven't been stressed.
Yes.
That's why this game is so important for us to play clean and understand our assignments.
All right, Tigers in a spread formation, wing right set. They're going to
Got
fake it
him.
to Rents. Got a man over the middle. That's
Get a
going to be
block.
caught by Cruz
That's
at
it.
the
He's
40.
gone.
Cruz cuts to the
Adios,
outside,
amigos.
and I believe he's going to win a foot race there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir.
It's a Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
Tell you what.
Wow. Cruz can run with the ball at any part of the field, whether it's running over the top, putting on a move, but he dances and prances into the end zone for a Tiger score.
Brian, we talk about these running backs, Brian. Garrison can really catch it and run with it after the catch.
Yeah.
He's as dangerous as a pass catcher because he can run and he's physical.
We're starting to see that. He's just a one-cut, gone type of guy.
I
He
mean,
got
he's
a block there by
explosive.
Lonazak. Great block down the field. Good delivery by Grady. And the guys of the house, don't give him a sliver because he can absolutely outrun you.
Let's check the replay. Boom, boom. Call this one up. Let's watch. Offensive line gives them plenty of time. Grady checking the defense. Here comes the blitz. They back out of it. Play action. They get sucked up wide open behind those linebackers, and there it goes. Really good job there by Waylon Rents just to get in the way. But, man, how do you want to be a defensive back tackling 6'2", 200 pounds?
That's a big guy.
Running 4.5 40.
You know, we don't
Good
talk
luck.
about that enough, but these two running backs, the size of these guys,
Yes.
we're not normal. We don't normally see Liberty Center running backs the size of some of these kids.
With the speed
like
that
it's
they
different.
have.
I mean, some of the weight program that is happening in Liberty Center program right now, and the size of some of these kids, it's different than it used to be. It's a lot different.
We saw Waylon Rents last year against Coldwater with the Cruz boys out.
Yeah.
Just tear Coldwater from limb to limb before his injury. Now you've got Garrison, Cruz, and we haven't even seen Thomas Muller.
Yeah.
And
that's right.
there's a guy that is a traditional read the block, super smart IQ guy, knows where, runs the daylight halfback, and he hasn't even carried yet. I mean, welcome to Weaponville. Casey Moeller is the mayor of Weaponville, man. Wow. Liberty Center.
Yeah, you hear in baseball, you hear about you can run, you can hit, and you can throw. But with Garrison Cruz, you can run, you can hit, and you can catch.
Yeah.
All right, all the way down to the 5-yard line. Tries to kick it out. Great coverage there. He's snowed under about an avalanche of 9 Liberty Center black shirts. Wow, they hold him down around the 15-yard line.
Will Fitzenreiter, I believe, on the tackle there
And Mason
first.
Smith there.
Mason Smith as well.
Big, tall Mason Smith. Last year, 6'4", 195. Mason also on the coverage team has just been a bright spot all year long for Liberty.
He's out there as a sniper now.
28-0 right now. Still 9 minutes left in the second quarter. Archbold comes out with a trip. Receivers to the far side. Out of the gun. They show blitz. Here he comes.
Here he
Getting
comes.
away from him.
Brogy.
Forces him out of the pocket. He's got to throw it away.
Steve
Brogan.
That quarterback's going to have nightmares of 63 just in his face. He has just been all over the place in these blitzes tonight. That quarterback don't have a chance.
Listen.
I'm telling you again, Brogan typifies what Liberty Center football has been about for 110 years.
Here's the deal, too, going against an inexperienced offensive line and an uber-experienced linebacker. He times that up just perfect.
Yes, he did.
Just perfect.
All right. Now, 2nd down and 10 for the Bluestreaks. Out of the gun. They've got motion coming back to the short side. They're going to run a little pitch sweep to the outside. Good job there by Giesecke to slow that down.
Mason Smith, way to stay home.
And Mason Smith on the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. Bingo, baby!
That's a really nice play there. Ryder Ryan had changed the field there, and it looked like he had some big yardage. Mason Smith staying home, staying in his lane. Nice play there.
Boom, boom. Can we see that play right there, that defensive play? We cannot. Number 10, though, Mason Smith, that sniper, on the opposite side, just as you said, discipline, and then a great tackle to get their best back to the ground.
All right, Cam Colley's got a wide out to the far side. Grady Miller, the wide out here. And number 10, Mason Smith, has the wide out, the slot man over here. Now looks, pump fakes. He's going to throw a long home run ball, and that's going to be intercepted on the sideline.
Eric Weimer couldn't get to that ball on the sideline. Eric Weimer not great at interceptions and lost his composure there, Brian, a little bit.
Blake Garber mossed him there, I think, on the sideline.
Blake Garber mossing the legend, Eric Weimer. Lost his headset. He needs to grow some hair, man. Wow.
You gotta love it.
Shake yourself, Coach Weimer.
All right, so punting from their own 11-yard line.
Isaac Orr!
That was blocked. Grabbed in the end zone. He's safety.
Wow. Isaac Orr with the block punt.
Yes,
what a play.
A man that continues to come back and play here, play there. That guy makes plays. What a ball player.
Well, you don't want to say it. You got a replay on that. Boom, boom. Number 28.
Here we go.
Just beats his block in the inside. Gets the blind. Almost catches it for a touchdown. But Liberty swarms the punter.
T-Lay and Roars, I believe, on the safety.
Roars. What a
Spike, one of the things, Casey Moeller loves length. Mason Smith checks in at 6'4". I mean, how tall is Isaac Orr? There's a guy that's 6 foot, and his length was a big assist to that block. I mean, Casey likes the length, and it pays off in a lot of ways. Great job, and good plays right there. Again, special teams, Brian Hefflinger. Probably saw a little weakness, got a little bit of an inside leverage against that tackle, and won the block, and then makes the pump.
And a couple of these snaps have been bad, right?
Yes.
So bring the house. You got a chance, and it looked like that's what happened there too. You got guys making plays all over the field. I mean,
and guys that aren't even starters.
Isaac Orr, Tyler Roars, a lot of these guys that aren't necessarily starting on offense or defense, or maybe not even second team at times, but showing up on special teams, throwing their hat in the ring on, hey, I want to play too. Give me a chance. And that's how you get noticed, and that's how you start playing right there.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of quick scores. Wauseon and Swanton tied at 7. Patriots over the Vikings 14-0. And what was the other one? We didn't get a score on Brian Delta.
Well, here it is on a safety spike. They gotta kick it from the 25, and again, Liberty's gonna get optimal. They're going to be in a running clock here before halftime, I think. And it's just this game has gotten out of hand early, and you kind of felt it coming with the inexperience that Archbold had. They just weren't going to hold up, and they haven't really held up against this Liberty Center team.
From the 20, low line drive kick that's going to hit at the 40. Scooped up there at the 32. Brendan Frederick straight ahead. Cam Collins
here's a problem.
Kicks it to the outside.
Here you go.
Kicks it to the outside again. It's a foot race now. One-on-one. Finally hauled down at the 12-yard line. What a job. Woo! 50 yards of real estate brought back
hitting on all
cutback
cylinders.
Didn't get the great block out there at the 45-yard line, but boy, that really sprung him.
Boom, boom! You got that one. Let's watch Cam Colley. That ball was not kicked very high.
Who got the block?
There was no blocking. I think this was low. and he just picked through a bunch of good blocks. You know what? There was a good block in there.
Mason Smith,
Tyler Wells
right
block.
back
Max
there.
Walker, 52,
Yep.
number
Okay.
50. Wow, I'm telling you, you don't get
You don't
some
need-
air, you got problems.
Yeah, he don't need much space.
All right, the ball's at the 13-yard line. They're going
Dive.
to run a power straight ahead, and Moeller bangs his way down inside the 5 to the 3. It's good, should be around first down yardage.
Thomas Moeller's lucky that Rex Lingren's not coaching because inside the 5-yard line, he says, if
Smell
you
it.
can smell the goal line, you got to finish. Thomas, you got to finish that, baby.
Got to smell it, Lingard would say.
All right, 1st and 10 now. Ball on the 3-yard line. 7.5 minutes to go. The Tigers on top, 30-0, and they want more. Double wing package. They're going to give it off a little cross buck inside. Cruz in
goes.
for the Liberty Center. Tiger touchdown. Oh, a little misdirection, and Cruz barred his way home. 36-0. Liberty Center all over the Archbold Bluestreaks.
Yeah,
Wow.
they're just firing on all cylinders.
Wow.
Offense, defense, special teams, everything's going right here for Liberty Center. This is a dominant performance thus far.
Garrison Cruz ran through 2 dudes.
Yeah, this guy's only a sophomore,
He
too,
ran
by the way.
right through 2
That's
tackles.
not a senior. That's a sophomore.
Wow.
All right, great snap, good hold, line drive kick, up and good again. Now listen, let's get that mention in. You've got Fitzenreiter, who goes probably $150, but tough kid, made a great play on the special teams right after, and that's 5 snaps in a row. Perfect snap. Crime Brink puts it down. Execution to the nth degree. Ian Rosebrock polishes it all.
Yeah, number 81, Toby Parasini. You know, he doesn't play a lot, but plays on those extra points and punts. But, man, he does not give an inch. Senior, number 81,
Yep.
Toby Parasini. Unheralded, but, man, you watch him, and you watch him on the snap. Archbold has not penetrated past his heels on any given extra point. And there's an important guy. You talk about guys that are making plays, guys that are holding blocks. You know, you see what happens when you don't block somebody. You get punts blocked. You know, you get scared to death because you got Stephen Brogan chasing you down like a grizzly bear. Great job by Toby Parasini, not giving any ground and keeping the Archbold Bluestreaks off our kicker. 37-0, Spike.
Wow.
Welcome to it.
Ooh.
Welcome to
Yeah.
Kip Kern Field, Rex Lingard Stadium, eh?
Oh, boy.
Wow.
Ah, the old Kippers loving this. You can bet your sweet bippy on that. High, end
get a
over
chance
end.
here.
That's going to come to the 10-yard line.
Oh,
They set
Deegan
a ball
Swigert.
over this side. A block in the back, and
Oh,
that's
yeah.
going to bring it back. 2 different flags on the
man.
play.
Oh.
And Archbold
Whoa.
is going to be guilty
I mean,
of some bad
You
blocking.
know, if you're a blocker and you see Deegan Schweigert and Tyler Lay and some of these, you
Wow.
better just get ready to give some ground because if you
Oh.
try standing your ground, you're going to be on your back, and that's what just happened.
First of all, Eric Weimer doesn't do a whole lot of congratulating. He's a hard-nosed. You got to do a lot, Spike, to get Eric Weimer to notice. Deegan Swigert just put some guy in the end zone, and Tyler Lay is on the hunt. They get an award. I don't know what it's called exactly. It's like the Special Teams Rocker Award or whatever it is, but these guys are looking an invitation to get drilled.
It's every kickoff.
Deegan
Somebody's-
Schwager
Yes.
and T. Lay, those are blocks.
Oh, man.
Those guys are fire hydrants. They are strong.
Well, I
they
coached-
are incredible bodies. These guys are tough.
I coached Deegan's dad. That is a bad dude right there.
Yes. All right, so Archbold back at their own 8-yard line after that terrific job. The quarterback's just going to keep it run straight ahead, and he's got nowhere to go, and it'll be a loss on the play of a yard.
Stephen Brogan, Waylon
Yep.
Rentz.
You're just not going to beat these
No,
linebackers, man.
no.
I mean, you might get a guy blocked at level 1, Brian, but
Yeah.
63,
They're just
19,
waiting.
18, number 50, 30, they're just in your face.
Yeah.
Every facet of our defense makes the next group better.
Yep.
The linebackers make the line better. They make the defensive backs better.
Yep.
It's just a work in progress that has really come to fruition. All right, 2nd and 10. The ball's still on the 8-yard line. Trip receivers over here. They're going to try to
Wait,
throw
oh,
it.
Gary, oh,
And
my.
almost
What
picked
a
off.
play.
What a job. What reaction
Jeez.
by Gary Cruz. He went about 8 feet in the air, put both
Oh,
paws
man.
on it, and as he dove, he almost came up with that
Yeah.
INT-TD.
Let's take a look at that. Boom, boom. Let's watch number 30. Garrison Cruz just get up in the air, tip, And watch him here. Oh, goodness. And just
Oh,
about.
my.
Oh,
What a
Guy's just
spectacular individual athletic play by Garrison Cruz.
Just a playmaker.
Max Walker now checking
Playmaker.
into the game at a linebacker for Liberty Center. 3rd down and 10 from their own 8-yard line. Still 6.5 to go in the quarter. Back to throw in the end zone.
Ooh,
He'll
he got
throw the
stuck.
home run ball, and they've got nowhere to go with that. That was just fired up in the general vicinity. Good coverage, man-to-man out there.
Well, Kurt Kruger.
With, Collie.
Kurt Kruger is running for his life tonight. Deegan Swigert on that one kind of took him right around the knees, and he couldn't step into that throw. He has no chance to deliver a good ball with this pressure that he's had in his face
Everybody
all night.
thinks it's about sacks.
Oh.
It's about quarterback hits. It's about hurries. It's about tips. Liberty
Oh, man.
hitting on all cylinders against the passing game tonight.
All right, they get a clean snap. High, short punt. And Old Crew bobbles it, picked up there by Cam Colley.
What? They still should have blew that
Old
dead,
Crew
right?
had to
Even though it was a fair
spin
catch. Still
to
a
go
live ball
back
on a
to
fumble.
get the ball and got miscalculated there.
Well, I think
But
that, there is some space that needs to be given to the ball catcher. And it looked like it was kind of tight for JT.
Yes, good call.
But at the same time, if you're gonna call, the ball, you've got to make the catch. They might. Does he try to advance the ball?
Yeah, but he fumbled the ball.
Right.
So you fair catch it, you fumble the ball, it's live. So Cammy tries to advance the ball. What's he supposed to do? I don't understand that.
Okay, well, hey, if that's the worst penalty we ever get hit with,
Yeah,
I'll
but
take
you
it.
got to jump on a fumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
it's a fumble.
All right, spread out wide to the far side. Blake Garber. Tigers with a ring right package. Now motion coming back this way. They're going to play action.
Got him.
Fires it out there. Got a
Good
man wide open.
delivery.
Caught there by Lonazak. Lonazak inside the 30. Finally hauled down at the 27-yard line. 20-yard pass play on play action from Kreinbrink, who put it right on the number.
Yeah, these quarterbacks have looked sharp tonight, Spike, putting the ball on the money. That was a great delivery there by Caden Kreinbrink, right over the top. Good ball.
Yes, and Liberty's working on the passing game.
You've been saying it in the practice.
Yes,
That's
they
right.
work on it and work on it. Tonight we're seeing it.
It's been sharp.
It is born. It is looking good. All right, now the Tigers shift around. Rentz will come over here and play a slot over here on the left. Under center. Give to the second back, looking for running room. Breaks over one, pounds his way inside the 25, down to the 23. That's Moeller, I believe.
Well, they're going to get a penalty on Liberty Center's Tyler Lay because he was blocking. And he was blocking a kid 12 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're going to give him an unsportsmanlike or what, but I thought that was a good block by Tyler Lay. So I'm anxious to see what this call looks like. Wow, I didn't see the face mask.
Yeah, that's what they
That
call.
must be a 5-yard penalty because I didn't see much of one. But you just get a taste of why the running game is so explosive, Brian and Spike, is that our guys hold their block.
Yeah.
And they are
just keep
driving
coming.
guys. They're not just making initial blocks. I mean, they are staying with their blocks down the field, which creates all kinds of explosives in the running game.
Yep.
It really comes down to how our tight ends, wide receivers, and our line block down the field.
Yep.
All right, and net result was a 5-yard penalty, so it was not one of the dangerous kind. Double wing set. They're going to fake it. Now they give it to that first back.
Adios,
Rolling
adios.
right down the middle, Gary Cruz, and into the end zone. It's another Liberty Center Tiger touchdown. They showed jet sweep, but handed right back to Garrison Cruz up the middle. He went boring through a wide open hole into the end zone, and can you believe it? It's 43-0 over Archbold.
This offensive line is absolutely controlling this game. I mean, he was almost untouched there right up the middle. That doesn't happen very often.
I want Boom Boom to run this back after the extra point. I want to see if any Archbold player got a finger on him.
Holy cow. On a dive? Was that a dive?
Straight, at least a
Another
zero.
good
Maybe it was a
snap,
zero, but it
another
could have been a
good
dive.
hold,
Let's see.
and another
Let's see.
successful
Boom Boom, you got that
PAT.
replay on the touchdown.
44-0.
Here comes the
Liberty
touchdown run.
Center Is pulling
I mean, it
out
is a
all the
straight dive.
stops.
Oh, my goodness. What blocking we got there.
Just.
Nobody.
Oh, my.
Number 50, Max Walker, and just that left side of the line. Brad Howe's got to be thrilled with his guards and center play tonight.
Yeah, it's been dominant.
CeeLo is back having a game. These guards are just licking their chops.
Man.
Wow.
I mean,
44-0. Did you envision this one?
No, I didn't. I mean, my prediction was 49-0 total, not in the first half.
And Mark Bly is back here. The captain said, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. He was calling.
Man, oh, man. 44.
Spike, you've seen a lot of football, but when you're inexperienced like Archbold is, and you're going to come into this place with this whole deal, this is not a formula for success for a bunch of 17 new players on their defensive backfield, offensive line. It ain't working out. It just, great program, but ain't working out tonight.
No, this is the black hole. This is the pit. This is the den of iniquity, and it's Liberty Center's home field, and it's Tigers have had the home field advantage for 100 years. High and over end, that's going to come all the way down and hit right at the goal line into the end zone, a touchback, and the Tigers once again very successful on special teams.
Yeah, and if you're an offense here, skill position guy, you're thinking, oh boy, here we go. Our line is not holding up. I have no time to throw the football, and not a lot of stuff is working on offense. Coach Dominic, we've talked about, had some creative plays there a couple possessions ago, but there has been no sustained drives here for Archbold.
All right, we're seeing more of Mason Smith out there. He's going to line up as the kind of like an outside linebacker, perhaps a sniper. Out of the gun. Drops back. Here comes pressure. Has to lob it out there, and the receiver came back to the ball, and the ball was way overthrown. Good coverage by the secondary.
Number 73, Hunter Warner, a 5'10", 280-pound sophomore, got ridden back to the 6-yard line by Deegan Swigert. I mean, Liberty just sending a very physical message and tone.
Yes.
That they're going to be kind of bully ball a little bit tonight. A lot of hitting and then all of it above
JT
board,
Oak,
but physical.
one of the defensive backs, along with Caden Sonnenberg, number 22. Steve Brogan in there to man the defense in the middle, that vision of that tough Jack Lambert middle linebacker type. Play blown dead.
Timeout, Archbold.
Timeout.
Yeah, probably just to take a minute.
Yeah.
I'd like to keep this clock rolling for Archbold right now, but, Spike, a couple years ago, Matt Orr and that group went over to Archbold, and they put one on us 41-7.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
And we kind of know what that looks like, but tonight this looks a little worse than that, Mark.
Hey, some scores. Patrick Henry, 21. Evergreen, 0. Last check, Delta was up 14-0. 21-0 now over the Bears. And the Indians, Wasion over Swanton, 14-7. Napoleon, 7. Anthony Wayne, 13.
Ooh,
tight game there for the Wildcats.
I have to make a correction. My wife, Charlene Barrett, in less than a month, we have our 30th wedding anniversary. She texts me and says, hey, man, Isaac Orth is short. I said, man, he looked long to me, boy. On that punt block. Thank you, Char.
He got long on that play.
He got long on that, boy.
Sometimes it's about attitude.
He was playing long.
All right, Brogan man in the middle for Liberty Center's defense. They're going to kind of fake the play action and just give it up the middle. And once again, the Tiger defense will not give up a yard. Another stop for I think they
blow
may
to the head.
No gain, but I
don't know. I mean, I guess
that was within the.
I kind of feel we're looking for some flags for some relief. Okay. I don't even know that was. Maybe it was. I have to see the replay, but
targeting.
It is what it is. No, it's like we got the head involved.
Leading with the head, maybe.
I hate to see that. You don't want anybody leading with the head, but man.
Guys, the Wildcats just kicked a field goal now. The Generals 13, Napoleon 10.
Okay. Well, that'd be an upset.
That would be a big win there.
All right, so the Bluestreaks come out of the gun. Trip receivers to the far side. Liberty Center 3-man front, 8 men back. Now back to throw, has time, throws a home run ball out there,
JT.
and that's tipped away. Great coverage with Smith. with JT Old Crew and number 26, Tyler Roars.
Yeah, Krieger there. He's had a couple big plays this year on a couple deep balls. He was looking for Krieger down the post, and JT was all over that one. I believe the safety. I don't know if that was who else is on that one, but read that ball well.
Yeah, you had number 10, Mason Smith, but Liberty was swarming that throw, and they have to take some chances, Brian, and sometimes that results in a turnover.
That's right.
Weimer, number 60, checks in for Liberty Center.
Schwager in there on the defensive line, and the Tigers swarm all over that. They're going to give up a couple of measly yards off that right or off tackle play. Not much there to gain a 2, 2nd and 8.
Yeah, the 3 linebackers there, Rentz,
all in the same play.
Brogan, Max Walker, all over that one.
I think Waylon Rentz has about 46 tackles tonight.
Yeah, he has been everywhere.
Wow.
Max Walker's not in the game. I think that must have been Gary there.
It was Garrison. All 3 linebackers made that tackle.
The boys are playing.
A freshman out on the Omea.
All right, so wide formation again. Single setback, straight drop. Has time. Lofts it up there on a high lob over his head. Incomplete.
Great job there. Caden Sonnenberg stay on that. Got a little bit behind. Good make-up speed. Found the ball. Great job there, Caden Sonnenberg.
That was a good throw. I tell you, that was Kirk Kroger's one of his best throws of the night. He was targeting, looks like Broden Piercefield. But I thought that was a good throw.
It was a good throw. He put it right on. Gave him a chance. Just better defense there by Sonnenberg.
When you give him some time, their quarterback, Kirk Krieger, could throw a nice ball. He just hasn't had a lot of time.
He's just been running for his life.
All right, back in punt formation. Good snap. They get the low liner. That's going to hit at the 40-yard line. Takes a hop, grab there by Old Crew. Tries to kick it outside. Good coverage coming downfield. The Tigers won't get anything on the return, but they will have possession of the ball at their own 37.
You know, I like the aggressiveness of JT and Cam tonight. A couple of these balls have been like, should I go get it? And they're very assertive, getting the ball, trying to gain positive yards rather than let that thing roll another 5-10 yards. Very aggressive by your 2 return men so far tonight.
Now Kreinbrink in at center. He's been in several times already in there now. And he'll come up under center. Tigers with pretty much a standard wing left formation. They're going to run power sweep. Cuts
Good
back.
Cut.
Great now. Cuts
Tyler
it to the
Roars.
outside. What a job there again. Takes on 2 tacklers up near the 50-yard line. It'll be a gain of 11 and a Tiger first down. That Tyler Roars impresses me every time he gets in the game.
Yeah, he's starting to flash when he gets time on special teams, and also when he runs the ball, he's got a nice vision. He does have nice cuts, and he's got a little speed too.
All right. Tigers come out. Wing to the right set, tight formation, 1 wide out. Give to the second back, coming back through, cut through, straight ahead, powers his way up near the 50, and a fumble on the play. It'll be turned over to the Archbold Bluestreaks.
That's Teddy Weimerbeck. Teddy Weimerbeck, number 21, lost the handle and kind of some inside run there. I thought he was on the ground before that ball was fumbled, but not much has gone right for Archbold, but that was an important turnover for them to maybe get this clock run out before Liberty put a 50 spot in a 50 piece in the first half.
Yeah. Tigers running a good sprinkling of starters.
I think they won that one possession. Yeah.
Yeah, they were down around our 40 once. All right. Trip receivers to the far side. Now stoppage of play, and Archbold's going to use their second timeout. Can you believe it, Tiger fans across the whole nation? It's 44-0 over Archbold.
Spike, and you talk about coverage here. A couple things. We've got the Cobalt's Germany party going on right now. We've got the Canadian Mafia. I joke, it's not the Canadian Mafia. But Swiffy's family's up there in Canada. We've got one of the Liberty Center faithful in Chicago. 5 countries, 34 states of where he works, a group of people together in one suite watching this football game.
Nice.
All right. Hey, Roger Meyer, one of my longtime friends in the Lutheran home, watching this game. He watches every game. Football, basketball, he covers it all. I saw him yesterday getting around pretty good. All right. Now
Stevie.
rolling out There's a lot of pressure from Brogan. Pass goes
Just.
incomplete. Good coverage out there, I believe, by Hammondtree.
Stephen Brogan's like the boogeyman tonight. He just doesn't go away. He's just everywhere. Kirk Kruger turns around and is
Do I
there he
hear?
is.
Do
There
I
he
hear
is
the
again.
big dog campaign train running, Jigs?
hey.
Woo!
He's been everywhere, hasn't he?
He is the boogeyman. I mean, number 62.
Baba
is
Yaga.
Just 63. I mean, 62 is also kind of a boogeyman. Those dudes are playing well tonight.
All right, they fake a little draw there,
oh.
run right into the middle of the line. That's going to go
physical.
note there. I
That is
believe that
physical.
was Siffy that went in there and got that hit.
Yep.
I told you,
took him out at the
62,
ankles.
63.
They're everywhere. Look at him. He's getting up again. Brogan and Cifuentes are like the frickin' Bash brothers tonight.
I know our fans are watching, and they're going to watch, and they're going to watch it tomorrow, and they're going to watch it Thursday, but I just can't underscore how active and physical and just on the hunt that Stephen Brogan is. I mean, your eyes go to him. I mean, he's a linebacker. He's not a wide receiver or a man. Oh man, Stephen Brogan.
Let's face it.
What a player.
The guy this field's named after, he's a Kip Kern football
He
player,
really is.
period.
He really is.
All right, the out of slant, and that goes off, out of play. And hard pressure in the backfield from Max Walker, I believe.
Brought in a new quarterback
56.
that time. Spike.
56.
Number 10, Jarrett Rufinall, his first
Lucas
action.
Navarre.
Lucas Navarre, yeah, the one younger version.
Seth's brother.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, there's a guy, look at his body and the way he's grown. I mean, we love Seth Navarre, and he's playing at Defiance, and he's one of the all-timers, but Lucas is going to be an interesting guy as he matures.
Adam Foster in there now, back deep, short punt. Tigers can't get anywhere close to that. That's going to hit it to 25 and bounce out of bounds.
Yeah,
So
buck
with
55.
a minute 55 to go, Liberty Center leading Archbold by the amazing score of 44-0. It's been all Tigers here in the first half. Liberty will have it at their own 25.
We got a camera going. We got a camera.
Yeah, just Spike, just complete and utter dominance here on all aspects. We've seen great special teams play. Offense, defense, everything seems to be clicking so far tonight.
All right, standard wing tee set. Give to the second back around the outside. Breaks through one tackle, still going. Pounding and gets up to the
hard run there.
29-yard line. 4 tough yards there.
Is that a Worth?
Number 28, Isaac.
That's a good run there.
Hey, I want to jump in here real quick. If you're out there watching on YouTube, man, we are 20 subscribers away from the first milestone.
Ooh.
So help us out there. Hit that bell, and you'll get notified. Subscribe to our channel.
All right. Now it looks double wing package, single setback, man in motion. They're going to hand off straight ahead, pounding forward for about 2 yards on the play. Tigers are going to be content to just pound this into the line of scrimmage. There's a minute to go here.
Now, I'm going to tell you, the offensive line still playing full tilt. Anything can happen with the way this offensive group is blocking up front. I mean, Geezy's having a great game. Weimer's having a great game. Brogan's having a great game. And it's great to see number 71, Clayton Sealback, and playing a nice ball game tonight.
Played a lot tonight. All right, they're going to give straight ahead. Nice cut back to the outside. Looking for room. Picks up more than enough for a Tiger first down.
You know, one thing I will say, I know that Casey and Dave Dominic are very close. And this game is over. It's been over for several minutes. I think you're going to see a lot more of that in the second half.
Yep.
Casey's not going to go put a 70-piece on Dave Dominic. We can name our score. It's not going to happen. We've got too much respect for the Archbold program and Coach Dominic, and it goes all the way back to, you know, the Archbold programs of the 70s and 80s, and it's just Coach Downey is 10 feet to our right, who's a Hall of Famer and has had some of the greatest teams in Northwest Ohio history. And at 44-0, Spike, you know, against Archbold, this is a little bit of a shocker.
Yeah.
Wow. Yep, Tigers let the clock run down, and they'll head to the locker room with a monumental effort, total dominance. Liberty Center 44, Archbold 0.
And with that, everybody, we'll be back right after this halftime break.
Introducing the 2024 Archbold Bluestreaks Marching Band, led by Field Commanders Jade Whittaker and Alana Trace. Wednesday marked 23 years since the terrorist attacks on September 11th in New York, D.C., and Pennsylvania. That day, America mourned those losses together and vowed to remain united under the Star-Spangled Banner of freedom. Tonight, the Archbold Bluestreaks Marching Band invites all of us, both black and blue, to come together again in our tribute to the USA, beginning with a familiar
Broadcast is copyrighted by Tiger Sports Live for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of Tiger Sports Live is prohibited.
More than simply reflective, honoring America is also about proclaiming the freedoms enjoyed, freedoms that allow even no-name kids from small rural towns to chase dreams of greatness. John Cougar Mellencamp celebrated the humble roots of some of America's great rock and roll pioneers. In our next hit, ROC in the USA. America is certainly a land where dreams can be achieved. But what if you woke up tomorrow and all we would work for was sacrifice? Lee Greenwood answered that question in 1983, saying that even without prosperity, he still thanked his lucky stars for living the freedom of the USA. He played at numerous rallies and services and inaugurations over 4 decades. We conclude with God bless the USA. men and women for their sacrifice to defending freedom. May God truly bless the USA.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The overarching pride of Tiger Country, the Tiger Marching Band. This year lays the fruit from Major League. Amanda Hernandez and our awesome band captain, AJ Stewart. Tonight, the band is bringing you our second show. This show is dedicated to the musical genius of pop artist Lady Gaga. Our first song is about a not-so-good relationship. This is called Bad Romance. Drum major, Savannah Hernandez. Is your band. Ladies and gentlemen, your Tiger Marching Band. are. There are those that would say that wouldn't begin to describe this announcer. No apologies here. We just want you to know we were born that way.
All right, we're back here. Halftime at Rexlinger Stadium, Kip Kern Field. The Liberty Center Tigers 44. The Archbold Bluestreaks 0. Scott, do the stats tell the story?
Yeah, we talked about that. I went up and took a look at the numbers, and they are devastating. Of course, the score is as well. Liberty Center first downs, 13-3 over Archbold. Total yards is kind of where this thing has come down to. Liberty at 351 first half yards, and they kind of took their foot off the gas pedal there late in the half, Brian. Archbold with 77 yards. When is the last time that Liberty Center in a half, Spike, has thrown for more yards than an Archbold team? Never. You see it tonight. You see it tonight. Liberty Center 3 for 5 with 114 yards through the air. Kurt Krieger and Archbold 7 for 19 for 82 yards. That is 4.3 yards per throw. Liberty just completely dominating both the pass game and the run game for Archbold. Liberty 19 totes for 237 yards on the ground. Archbold tried, kind of like Napoleon did, kind of like Tenora did. They went 13 attempts for -5 yards. And no sacks, by the way. Those are tackles for losses. Liberty's still a little high on the penalty, 5 for 35, and Casey is just not going to like that. Archbold, 2 for 20. Here's some of the individual numbers. Grady Miller tonight, 2 rushes for 103 yards, unofficially. Fantastic game tonight running the football. He is 2 for 3 through the air for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 57-yard touchdown to who was it? He threw it to Garrison
Oh, I was gonna
Cruz.
say,
Rushing tonight, Garrison Cruz, 6 rushes for 86 yards, 3 touchdowns, a 57-yard catch, and that was a fantastic job by both Grady and Garrison. Waylon Rentz tonight, 5 tackles. Stephen Brogan with 5 tackles. Archbold's bright spot, number 2, Aranger Krieger with 7 first-half tackles.
Wow.
That has a tendency to happen when Liberty will run that many offensive plays. But Spike, this is a 4 and 5 to 1 differential in both team and individual stats. That is, Mark Bly, the captain, not shocked. I am shocked to see the dominance.
Especially in just 24 minutes of play. I mean, in the first 15 minutes of the game. I mean, this thing was over already. The line of scrimmage, our defense cannot be run upon. It's not sacks like you said. No
Pressures,
sacks,
hits.
But yes. Stop minus yardage plays by the
Tackles
defense.
for loss, yeah.
Yes, I mean it was play after play after play, and our defensive backs against a guy that's got to throw, they're doing a great job of coverage. And with the pressure, the quarterback doesn't have time to set up.
Yep.
It's the whole defense. And then when you look at the line of scrimmage, offense and defense both. Our offense, as offensive line, has pushed them back, pushed them around the whole time. The defensive line and the linebackers, we've seen that with their run game.
Brian,
it doesn't exist.
Brian, talk about the physicality. I mean, the battle, the hitting on all 3 phases, offense, defense, and special teams. Liberty Center is just dominating the hitting is what they're doing.
Yeah, and you're right. It's happening on offense, defense, and special teams on these kickoffs as well. And it just demoralizes a football team. And that's what you're seeing tonight. You got a young Archbold team coming in here. It's got a lot of new starters. They're not used to this physicality. They have not seen it yet. They've not experienced it. And they don't know how to react. And that's what you're seeing. It's just the utter dominance.
Shell shock.
And it just keeps happening play after play after play. And in the back of your mind as a sophomore or as a new starter out there, you're just getting hit. You got Stephen Brogan just hitting that hip on these pulling plays as a guard. And you're like, gosh, this guy needs to just stop hitting me. And it just wears you down, and that's what you're seeing here tonight.
Hey, guys, a couple halftime scores. Indians 21, the Bulldogs 7. Delta 21, Bryan 0, Patrick Henry 21, Evergreen 0. And, guys, at halftime here, I got an email, fan mail for you guys, because they said the great commentators. It said it's especially good to hear kind words from 7,000 kilometers away.
Wow.
Kobitz, Germany.
That's cool.
So
Fan base, global, man. We've gone global.
Yeah, we got that group in Chicago that's got 5 countries, 34 states.
Spike, do you believe back when you first started had about 28 people? Now you're global, 7,000.
Remember we used to have to pay people to listen to us?
Hey, will you listen to me? Here's $5 coupon for ice cream.
We had to give away
DVDs.
VCR tape.
Yeah. Remember, I'll tell you how far we go back. Is remember at basketball they used to make cassette tapes?
Oh yeah, cassette tapes, and you got to listen only.
That's right. I could have recorded over my mixtape from high school.
All right, so Tigers will receive the opening kickoff here in the second half, and Tigers have a lot of regular faces out there on the kick return team. A line drive kick. That's going to be taken at the 5-yard line. Returned up the right hash. Now cuts to the outside. Looks for a seam. Hit right there and brought down around the 20-yard line. Good kick coverage. Good open field tackle by the Bluestreaks.
Adam Foster with his first return. They're showing some quicks. Like he he didn't get behind the wall quite and tried to kick that thing outside. Couldn't quite beat the outside man.
Adam Foster, the son of Adam Foster Sr., who is doing a wonderful job refurbishing the VFW uptown and hosting veterans.
I think they're up there watching tonight.
And get hats off to our veterans. Obviously, we honor them, but Adam Foster Sr., well done. Take that project on.
Max
Perry,
Perry at quarterback.
All right. Perry, pitch deep, kicks it outside. Good penetration by the Bluestreaks, and that'll be the Tigers thrown back for a 4-yard loss. Did we catch who was at center?
I'll get it when they come out of the huddle.
There's going to be a lot of dudes playing, but let me go back to Max Perry, who's a very interesting prospect, Jigs. He throws probably the best ball on this team in the quarterback room. And they all can throw it, but he really can throw it, and he's athletic. I know we had a little bit of a labor issue, but Max Perry is a guy to watch in the future of our quarterback room.
He's got a good arm on him.
Parker Trumbull.
53, I think, is at center.
Yeah, a junior.
All
right, give off that left side, and they got back the yardage they lost, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 10, a gain of 4.
And I got that wrong, Spike. There's no 53 on the field.
Going to continue to see a lot of new faces here.
56?
Running clock.
Mason Talent, I think, on that block. Looks like he might be at a guard.
58?
And by guys, talking about centers, Hunter Spangler.
Trey Flory,
suspected sprained MCL will not return tonight. Wide open.
All right, back to throw. Scrambles out of that. Able to get rid of it, but good pressure from Archbold. And the Tigers will be forced to punt the ball away.
Yeah, Max, not much of a chance there. Had to kind of step up, had some pressure, kind of hit as he threw, wasn't able to plant and make that throw.
Clock will run. A lot of the regulars now will not play.
I just got called old because of the cassette tape
thing.
I
I suspect, Spike, that the next couple weeks you're going to see a lot of guys in this lineup, and you're going to have to be on your game with the rosters because I don't suspect Swanton's going to give a lot of resistance next week either.
All right, good recovery on the snap. A line drive kick.
Wow.
Taken all the way back to the 40.
Foster, nice play.
Down right away. That was number 20, Adam Foster. What a hit. Took him out around the ankles.
I'm going to tell you what right now, guys. It's Adam Foster, Cat. He's a Marine, man. I mean, he comes from a long line of Marines. His brother, who was a great player in this program, his dad. I know that kid. He spends a lot of time in my house.
Yeah.
If I'm signing dudes up to go into a dark alley, he's on the top of my list, Adam Foster.
Who was the punter that time?
Kreinbrink. That was a good punt.
That was a boot.
Oh, that was Kreinbrink.
Yes, it was.
Left-footed punter. All right. So the Bluestreaks take over at their 42 now with the Liberty Center Tigers.
We got
to call a timeout. They want to reset the defense.
I think they got Cam Colley tried to get a snap in there. They're getting him back out.
They'll be taking his helmet. Cam Colley.
Cam
can go over and grab a mint julep that's not loaded with alcohol because he is done. Number 7 with the gloves off, feet up, and get the heating pad out, big fella.
Now, what was that Zyder injury again?
It was Spangler. Initial thought was a sprained MCL. He had it. He dinged it earlier in the week. Had the brace on, but we won't know a whole lot more until the swelling goes down. But
I see.
No ACL was the initial prognosis. So. That's really good news.
Yes, for sure.
It's one of our best football players, Hunter Spangler.
All right, so the count now goes back to 1st and 10. They're going to give it off the left side.
Wow.
And the Tigers swung to the football, and it's going to be no gain on the play.
It's second group, Brian.
T-Lay. Well, you got T-Lay playing with the second group.
Max Walker and Adam Lonizak. And this is the deal what Coach Eric Weimer talks about. Scott, we love Waylon Rentz, and we love all these guys, the Stephen Brogans, but we got dudes in that second group that are just as good that could start anywhere else.
Yeah,
that's the truth. You watch the film.
Yep.
Lonizak is a heck of a football player.
Oh, yeah.
And so was Max Walker. I love Max Walker, man. Wow. Swiss Army knife.
Yeah. All right, out of the gun. Straight drop. Looks, throws over the middle. That's going to be caught out there at the 50-yard line. Breaks one. And Archbold with a 1st and 10 in Liberty Center's territory inside the 45-yard line.
Teddy Wyvern back there at the corner, just trailing that football. Pretty good throw there by the quarterback. He threaded that one in there.
I want to see Eric Weimer right here. If I can get a camera on him. This game has been over for an hour and a half, and he is lighting up Jackson Lonizak for not being in his hook zone.
Yep.
This coaching staff doesn't stop coaching because the game's over.
That's right.
Wow. I know that look. That's a tough look right there.
Jared Rubinoff, the quarterback now, number 10. Out of the gun. Now fakes it. Turns around. the left side. Not much running room. Tigers stuff him there for no gain.
Max Walker.
T-Lay.
Max Walker is a tackling machine. He had a great game against Napoleon, really played well in his snaps that he played, and he had a good game last week. He is really a good football player.
That's what I said. We talked about him last week. You know, he's a three-point shooter on the basketball team. How often does a guard go and be an outside three-point shooter on the basketball team?
And you know what?
And he loves taking charges, getting on the floor. He's a fun player to watch.
We won a league championship in basketball, and I tell you, Greg Badenhop cannot do without that guy.
Yeah.
He just adds a lot of things that don't show up in the stat book.
All right, 2nd down and 10. Tigers, eight men in the box. Now they throw the home run ball. Got a man out there, overthrown, incomplete.
Had him by a couple steps.
Yeah, Jarrett Rufinoff, he's thrown a pretty good ball here so far. Just a little bit overthrown there. That's the sophomore that they rotate a little bit. Maybe a little bit of look into the future of Archbold football here the next couple of years.
He's a good-looking athlete.
They got some young talent. I mean, number 5, Ryder Ryan at running back, he's got some quicks. And obviously the quarterback here, he's got a decent arm too for a sophomore. So
all right,
Archbold will be back next year.
3-man front, 5 linebackers, thrown a little out in the flats, hit right away, caught down there at the 35-yard line, pickup of about 8 for the Bluestreaks. And
Colton Sapansky,
that
I
is
believe.
a Archbold first down at the Tiger 33-yard line. I'll stand corrected.
I believe Sapansky on the tackle there, playing a corner. JTO crew down here in the corner. Will Fitzenreiter, the sniper. Tyler Roars at a deep safety.
All right. Now motion coming this way. Somebody else moved, so it's going to be a procedure call.
Number 5, Brady Badenhop. On a sniper on the other side there as well. Lucas Navarre, 56. Number 16, Braxton Light.
Checking in, yep. Boy, it's great to see the reps for – you got 73 football players on a roster.
Yep.
And they're all going to get on the field tonight.
Yep.
And, against Archbold, first league game, I mean, that is invaluable experience,
Yes,
Mike.
it is.
All right, Archbold with trip receivers to the wide side. Dropping back, looks over there to the trips and knocked down. Went up in the air and knocked it away. What a great reaction by Brady Badenhop, number 5.
Yeah, I tell you what, Badenhop, he was playing the sniper there, kind of got his first jam, and then he got into his underneath zone and read the quarterback's eyes. Great read there, just couldn't quite bring that one down. Brady Badenhop, good reaction time there.
Brady Badenhop is a guy you want to mark in your programs. Guy is a good athlete. He's an outstanding wrestler. I'm telling you, Brady Badenhop's got a bright future in this program.
Good deal. All right, Bluestreaks spread it out again with a single protector. Quarterback drops back 5, throws the little screen pass over there, but the Tigers all over that. Let me see.
Number
36, Colton Sapansky.
That was a great play by
Yeah,
Colton. Beat his block, got to the point of attack, and kind of broke that little
he did.
Little slip screen.
It's not easy to do. You got that underneath guy normally coming out to block it. He just ripped right through that.
All right, Archbold, I would imagine, is in 4-down territory. They've got the ball to Liberty 38-yard line, 3rd and 15. Receivers double to either side. Quarterback on a little draw straight up ahead. He's going to pick up maybe 4 on the play, but the Tigers close to that really quickly. And now it'll bring up 4th and 11. Lucas
Ashton
Navarre
Naguki, I believe, on that tackle.
Tacklers. Lonazak now back into the game.
Well, Lonazak took a good shoeing by a legend, and he gets another shot. Sometimes Eric doesn't give second, third shots if you blow a hook zone. So let's go.
All right,
Jackson
Bluestreaks
Lonazak
going for it. 5 wideouts. tight end right. Now dropping
Tyler
back.
Lay.
He's going to throw for everything out there and incomplete on a desperation dive.
Really good coverage by Lucas Navarre. Was that Lucas Navarre at linebacker?
Stefanski.
Or was
Stefanski, I believe, on the corner. He's been playing 36. Yep, he's had a pretty good plays there.
Wow, that was a great
play.
Rapinski,
Right there, got the
36.
arm up at the last second to kind of break that thing up. Tyler Lay just blew up the guard and almost put him in the quarterback's lap there.
Hey, mark your calendars. 3 minutes to go in the third quarter, and I want you to watch Tyler Lay rush the passer. Just want you to watch that complete. He's like a grenade.
This guy, he just gets up. He's naturally just already underneath your face mask when he hits you. It's just you can't out leverage that guy. He's always going to be underneath you. Always.
All right, now we're just back to some good old-fashioned football here. Each team parring and jabbing, and the Tigers with a single wideout, wing right package, 2 setbacks. Give to the first one, pounding through, still spinning and driving, up across the 35 and up to the 38.
I love watching Parasini, number 81.
Yeah.
Toby, and number 11, JT Olcrew blocking downfield, man.
Yep.
They know
at any time
that they know that they're going to be evaluated on film, and you better be blocking your tail off, just like the first teamers and second teamers. I love that. That's culture.
Yep.
That's why your run game spike is explosive.
Oh, yeah.
Because these guys are blocking 15, 20, 25 yards down the field.
Mason Smith spread out wide to the far side. Wing left set. Under center. Gives straight ahead. Slips through one. Spins and drives. Pounds forward. Good spinning run by Ty Jackson. Number 12.
Ty's got some quick feet in there. He's got some quick cuts. Nice little run there for first down.
Brad Howe's got to be super happy with his center and guard play on this second, third, and fourth groups. They're really blocking. When you're running 0-1 traps for first downs on second and third and long, that is guards and centers all night long.
Great clock management. Perry's running that down.
Is that Flory at center?
Yeah, Trey Flory.
Trey Flory. Excellent block on that 0-1.
All right, now a double wing package. Motion coming this way. They're going to pitch sweep to the motion man. Tries to get outside. That's Olcrew. What a cut to the outside.
Man.
Back to the inside. Whirling dervish spins and drives and twists his way down inside the 40-yard line.
JT's one of them guys you just can't quite square up. You know, he's already smaller. He can get in behind his blockers. He's nice and shifty. He's got a great cutback, good vision.
And he's got a step. He knows how to step on it. He's got a gear.
He does.
He would be the best. He would be a best in that whole thing that Rex Lingren used to play. Flash ball.
Oh, yeah.
You just couldn't get a hand on him.
That was 16 yards of very dynamic football running. Wow. Wing left set, a little fumble. Perry keeps it. He'll dive forward and pick up 4 yards on the play. What reactionary job there.
Yeah, good job there by Max to just get some positive yards, secure that thing.
Keep the clock running.
That's it.
This should end the quarter. They won't run another play. And I don't suspect, Spike, the Liberty Center will score another touchdown unless these guys get one against Archbold's first-team defense. 44-0, and seemed like this thing's been over since
about the first quarter.
About 7:15, 7:20 p.m.
Hey, in practice, Coach Weimer tore those guys in U1. He says, I don't care what unit it is, first unit, second unit, third unit, you do not give up a 97-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
We lost a shutout because somebody got lazy. Now, he's being very adamant.
Broadcast is copyrighted by Tiger Sports Live for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of Tiger Sports Live is prohibited. Tiger Sports Live is prohibited.
Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors: KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them.
I wanted you to finish that story on Eric Weimer last week in the defense because they did give up a shutout against Otsego, and he lost his mind. So I know in practice he is telling these guys, don't let it be you.
Oh boy, he verbally made them pay. They were cowering under his.
We've gotten some really good effort tonight out of our sniper position. That's Ryan Miller, and just does a great job of coaching that position. And also then he's the wide receiver / whoever catches the ball coach. And that's where that blocking downfield comes from, Brian.
Yep.
Outside the hashes, on the numbers, those guys are blocking 24/7.
All right, we got Mason Smith spread out wide to the wide side. Tigers with a double wing package, tight end left. Now motion coming this way. Jet sweep around the corner, turns it up, leaps over a tackler, pounds his way forward, down inside the 25 and down to the 23. 13 yards and another Tiger first down.
Yeah, Isaac Orth there on a good run. Nice little cutback. And as we've been talking, the downfield blocking's been great. There's body on body. That gives you the opportunities for these cutbacks as the running backs, and that's what you saw there on that run.
All right. Number 20, Adam Foster, back in there. He'll be a wideout on the far side.
We got the Parasini
Wingback left is
punch
Ted
on the right side
Weirenbeck.
here.
Now motion. They're going to give it straight ahead. They didn't give it to the motion man. They just went for a dive play right into the heart of the line. That'll pick up about 3 on the play. 2nd and 7 coming. So the Tigers continue to run fresh bodies in and out of there. Wow, what a deep team.
Yeah, you got Tate Parasini and Toby here on the right side.
Zabo and Orth now back into the game. 10.5 to go as the clock runs continuously. Spread out wide to the far side over there is Dakota Zabo. Now motion coming back this way. Quarterback's going to... No, handoff. I missed that one. Wow. Give off to Braxton Light, who's been impressive as a back this year, even with the JVs.
He had some speed there on that pitch. Some nice yards. Nice little drive here for the Tigers.
All right, Tigers looking at 3rd down and 1. The ball just inside the 15 down, at the 14-yard line.
Tate Parasini, good block on that sweep for Braxton Light.
Double wing set. Single setback is Ty Jackson under center. Now motion. They're going to give it to the motion man. Kicking it outside. Follows the block. Pounds his way forward. Down around the 10-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of 5 and another Tiger first down.
Good job there by Teddy Weirenbeck to smell the first down. He could have kicked that thing outside maybe, but just put his head down. Knew the down and distance. Able to get the first down. First down Tigers here.
You can't go broke taking a profit.
That's right. That's right.
All right, ball's on the 11 now. The Tigers starting to smell the goal line. 9 minutes, plenty of time here regardless. Adam Foster spread wide to the far side. Old Crew now, wing back over on the left. Look for Old Crew now. He's motion. Now they're going to give it straight ahead. Pound inside, gets down inside the 10, down to about the 9. I believe that was gain of 2 on the play.
You know, I look back at my career against Archbold, against Coach Downey, and Spike, you've seen as many Archbold Liberty games in your career. These are ones for the record books. They don't happen very often. Archbold's such a great program, but just got caught flat-footed with too many young kids and replacing 17 starters.
Okay. Out there at wing left again. He'll come in motion again. They'll run that pitch sweep. Now he uses speed, cuts it outside. Inside the cut. Cuts it back inside. Spins around. Heads for the right end.
Nifty. He is slippery, isn't he?
It's a J.T. Okru Liberty Center Tiger touchdown.
Hey, boom, boom. Let's look at that again. Watch the feet, number 11, J.T. Okru. Just chopping it up, and you can't get the guy cornered. Great vision. Hit about 4 gears here. Watch the vision. He's seeing
Great
it.
Block here.
Stop, go, and get small and fits through the crack. JT Okru is going to be a developing story and weapon for us in big games. Mark my words, JT Okru. They found something good in JT Okru. He is a jewel.
Wow. 51-0.
Nifty running. Wow. It's kind of fun to see these guys spike, because you see them in practice. You know them better than anybody in this booth. But to see them out on a field, first league game, big night, perfect weather, packed house, and they're all touching it, all getting yards, getting tackles. I mean, golly. I remember I was a freshman. We had 29 guys in the team, and I had to start, and I got rolled over like a freight train. And we were 0-10.
It wasn't very fun.
Our banquet was about 23 minutes that year. They gave us bananas, and water and said, let's pack this up. 0-10, there's not a lot to celebrate. You remember that 85 year. Remember that? Golly, the old cafeteria, the old theater in the elementary, that was a disaster. All we waited for is how much Jack Kruger could eat. He was on about plate 6 of the kielbasa and meatloaf. That was our banquet. How much can Jack eat?
JT Olcrew's run. I mean, that was scintillating.
Yes, it was.
That was a human dynamo. He got into gear, and he made those little quick fit scrunches and bangs and twists, and he just turned it into a thing of beauty.
And no one touched him.
Yeah. No.
There was 6 or 7 white uniforms in front of him. He navigated that whole thing.
Yes.
The patience, the niftiness, the cuts,
I
the reads.
love it. He navigated it. He shifted. I love that, Scott. All right, kickoff down to the 12-yard line.
Adam Foster.
Yep.
Bringing the ball peen, human ball peen hammer.
He's all jacked up, too. That's a nice hit there, Adam Foster.
You know, there was the whole gang in there, and all of a sudden 20 laid the lick, and the old ball peen, bang.
Mark Jensen, number 78, now into the ball game. He is a behemoth. 305-pound junior. That guy works hard in practice.
Cole Schultz in there as well, Spike.
He does a job. Glad to see him get on the field. Love it. All right, out of the gun. Trip receivers over here. Tigers defense shifts over.
Going deep.
Back, nothing there. Has to scramble out of it. Here comes T. Lay, and he'll head him off at the pass.
Good decision as number 51.
Yeah.
You see that guy meet him on the sidelines. Let me just avoid that
I think
contact.
what he did was he got within eyesight of the biceps and the pipes and said, I'm gonna get out of bounds here.
Hey, another let's see, Brody Jakeway, another up-and-coming star, a freshman, but they really like
he's tough.
Levi Howe, another freshman.
I like him at quarterback.
Yes.
Jakeway is tough.
Jakeway's tough.
Yeah.
Tatum Murdoch out there, number 32. Good to see some freshmen.
Gain of 8 on the play, 2nd down and 2 for the Bluestreaks. 51-0, 6 minutes left in the game.
Going deep here.
He's going to go deep, and super coverage. It don't get no better than that right there. Let's get the number of that.
12. Ty Jackson.
Wow. He was with him stride for stride.
This corner play has been impressive. First, second, and third units tonight. Very, very impressive in the secondary.
Matt Bryan and his defensive staff at all levels
impressive.
Put together an airtight, if you got a perfect defensive game plan execution tonight, Matt Bryan and his defensive staff did it.
Yep.
Outstanding work.
3rd and 2 for the Bluestreaks. Out of the gun, they'll throw it quick, high, too high and incomplete. It'll sail out of bounds, and the clock, of course, does not stop.
Big Lou Collins out there, Lewis Collins, 67. Who's 20? Cole Spangler. In the field, young freshman. 73, Grant Bartels in there as well. Number 66, Easton Flory.
Archbold really doesn't matter to them, but they're going to call a timeout. I mean, if I were them, why not run a play?
Yeah.
Why not run an offensive play?
What I would like to see the extension of this running clock to run it through the timeout. I'm glad he wants to get guys in, and everybody wants to do that, and I appreciate that. But man, this you just don't want to see anybody get hurt, expose themselves. You just don't want to see it.
Hey, some updated scores: Wauseon 35, Swanton 7, Patriots 35, the Vikings 6. Delta 35, Bryan 0 in third quarter, and Anthony Wayne now 21, Napoleon Wildcats 10 in the third quarter.
Okay. Point and hang around.
I was asking guys earlier. When's the last time Swanton, Bryan, and Wauseon 0-9 combined?
Oh, man.
I just have never heard that before.
Right.
I mean, I understand every program kind of goes through it, but to have three kind of crown jewels of the NWL beating 0-9 coming into tonight, my goodness.
Yeah. All right, so Archbold's going to punt the ball away, so Liberty Center will get one more chance. They only have a single safety back there. Tigers watching for a fake. High. Fair catch called for. Nice job over there to handle that cleanly. Let's see.
Adam Foster.
That was Foster.
Great catch there.
There goes the freshman unit.
All right. Let's see if we can get some numbers here. 64, Mitchell Parasini. 74, Henry Fitzenreiter.
70. Pull those stats up.
Number 70, Sawyer Bacco, and the big fella, 6'3", 240. That's a big
6'3",
man.
240 freshman.
He might be 270, but we'll list him at 240.
Hey,
Number 34.
This is a pretty good bunch right here. That offensive line, very dominant.
34, Drew Silvas in the background.
All right, standard wing right set. Give on the outside, hit right there. No gain on the play.
There's a Silvas.
That was number
you guys
34,
recognize that name?
Drew Silvas.
Yeah, the Silvas name is as royalty as it gets around here.
Yes.
Kurt, Brett, and the legendary Andy Silvas.
Yep.
Wow.
All greats.
I mean, you're talking, those are just incredibly great players, the Silvas family. Wow.
All right, Tigers with a double wing package, single setback with Jakeway. Now motion. They're going to give it straight ahead to Jakeway. Jakeway
nice
gets
run there.
through one and still spins, powers his way forward for 6 yards on the play.
The freshman team is hurrying back to the hut. They want to get as many plays in as they possibly can with this running clock.
Isaiah Badenhop at quarterback, number 6.
You know, everybody thinks the Badenhop name, Spike, is synonymous with basketball. It might be, but these kids can play some football.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing but
I'm telling
good
you,
reports about
these Badenhop
those
boys
two
can play. They can play it.
All right, double wing set. Now motion coming back this way. They're going to hand off to the motion man. Takes on a tackler like a true Liberty Center running back right over the top. Picks up about 3 tough yards.
Cole Spangler, not as big as the rest of the Spangler group. Little scat back look. Nice hard run there by Cole.
Yeah, I wanted to finish my Badenhop rant. Carly Badenhop is the athlete in that family. She's an All-American volleyball player, and you can tell in Isaiah, that's all Carly. I mean, Greg, you know, he's okay coach, but Jack and Isaiah are of their mother's genes athletically.
All right, 4th and 3. Liberty Center going for it. They're going to run a power sweep.
There you go.
Gets it outside. That's
Get
going
up.
to be first down yardage and more. Taking on 2 tacklers.
Oh, my
pouring
goodness.
his way
Yes, sir.
forward. 14 yards and a Tiger first down.
Kinda
Did you
nasty.
see the
I like-
downfield block by
Kinda
Sawyer
nasty.
Backelman?
What a nasty
Wow.
run.
Yes,
Yeah.
those tackles, bookend tackles. Wow.
I like the way Brody Jakeway runs the football.
Oh, yeah.
That's a little nasty streak there.
I kind of looked barbed wire to me.
Scott, Coach Badenhop just called and requested a change in basketball announcers.
Yeah, I speak the truth, and he knows it.
Under center, Badenhop. He'll hand off. Second back. He's hit, spins off that. Twist and bores forward for a couple tough ones to Silvas. Minute and a half, or a minute and 50.
Hey,
Carter Booth
Okay.
now in the game.
Moeller's in, number 24.
There he is.
Kobitz,
Yeah.
Germany.
Martin Moeller in Germany. Here we go.
There you go, baby.
Getting some action.
All right, he's going to line up as a wideout to this this near side here. Long cadence count. Handoff off that left side. And not much there as the bodies stack up and pile up. But Martin Moeller into the game. Boy, you got to love it.
You know, we bring talent from everywhere, 7,000 kilometers away.
Hey, family, I hope you're having a good time. Hoist one high for me, will you?
Little Wiener Schnitzel for me.
Little Heineken.
All right. This may be the last play of the game. Tigers come to the line of scrimmage with a wide out to the far side. give power off that second back through. He'll pound down to around the 30-yard line. And the clock is going to be a little bit shorter than the play clock.
Spike, I want to correct the captain. Heineken is brewed in the Netherlands, not in Germany.
Ah.
Okay, we got to get that right, brother.
Hello,
And the Netherlands.
I mean,
Coach Badenhap. Yeah, we'll make that change in basketball.
I mean,
will have to go to Austria.
let me tell you, the Netherlands that's not Germany, brother.
No.
How dare you?
Wow, great football game by Liberty
All right.
Center. Wow.
So the Liberty Center Tigers preserve the shutout. What a great effort. Both sides of the football. Liberty Center with total dominance. Both teams graduated a lot, but Liberty Center is just amazingly so deep. They played it in the black hole on Kip Kern Field, and everything combined with great coaching turns out to be a smash-mouth victory, 51-0 over the Archbold Bluestreaks.
Yeah, that was Spike. That was just a complete domination. We've talked offense, defense, special teams. Liberty Center was rolling on all three phases of the football game tonight.
Yeah, the defense just continues to amaze me. And the offensive line just keeps pounding and grinding. And everything is set up. Liberty could do anything they wanted. Their blocking was so good. We had a couple of fumbles, and the quarterbacks picked them up, gained positive yardage. Miller ran for a big gain after an issue on the exchange. It just... unbelievable. How good is this team?
Yeah, and I think you mentioned something about Grady Miller on the ground. That is an aspect that we've not really had to see yet, and they haven't used a whole lot, but very capable. I mean, that's a guy that you have to account for. I think if you remember Zane Zeider running the football, that was a guy that you had to account for.
Yeah,
and he could take it to the house at any time. If you have a quarterback that can run the football like that, that's just another person that you have to account for in defense. And Grady showed tonight that can be an aspect of this offense as it continues to get going. And I think he threw the ball with confidence tonight, as good as I've seen him throw it.
Right,
he was very crisp throwing the football, very decisive. He had a really good game at the quarterback position, and excited to see where that thing could go.
Jigs, I got a question for you because, I know Archbold's watched video and huddle and all this. Probably watched our Tiger Sports Live broadcast, I'm sure.
Of course.
But how demoralizing is it when you've seen Liberty Center score twice in 3 games on the first play of the game, and then Grady Miller takes it 70-plus yards on the second play of the game? Yep. What does that do to your mindset as a player?
Well, I think you see when you come into a game like this, you're up against a great team. And then you get struck on early like that, and you're like, uh-oh, here we go, right? I think there's some doubt that creeps into the back of your mind when you're an undermatched team like this, and you saw it right away. And it's not like Archbold didn't fold. They weren't a matchup for Liberty Center tonight. That's what happened. Liberty Center was just dominant at all phases. It wasn't Archbold not playing well or making mistakes or anything like that. This was just a dominant Liberty Center performance, and yeah, they struck home on that second play from scrimmage, and it just rolled downhill from there.
Yeah, the defensive line, I mean, they really set a tone. And the way the linebackers are so versatile, so mobile. Everything, it was like clockwork. It was like meshing together. I mean, this was a thing of beauty's a joy forever, if you will.
Yep.
Well, we got a lot of comments about stuff like that, Spike, about executing blocking. And Logan Bailey in NWO Sports. Logan was a lineman in high school and college, so he loves lineman play. He's like, I'm watching every Liberty Center lineman. And, he made some comments about how, the Liberty Center lineman executed against Napoleon. And then him and I were talking about the Otsego and that first run by Waylon Rentz. And you go back and watch. We've got the highlight of that first play on our Facebook page. You can go back and look. There were 6 Liberty Center linemen pancaking 6 Otsego defenders, all in a basic tunnel for Waylon Rentz. So, you talk about execution and blocking and whatever. And, that's, Casey made a point in one of our interviews, either this week or last week, that the blocking execution is at mid-season form right now.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
But
so,
this is just.
And you see that in all aspects of the game. I mean, you saw Sawyer Bockelman, a freshman, 35 yards down the field, pancaking somebody because guess what? They didn't blow the whistle.
Yeah. Well, and it's contagious. And these young kids, these freshmen and sophomores, they see these juniors and seniors doing it by example in practice every single day, and then coming out here and doing it on a Friday night, and then they know that is the expectation. That's how it's done, and that's what I need to do to elevate my game and to continue to excel and hopefully see more time on Friday night.
Yeah.
And that's the expectation that this coaching staff puts forward. And these players are falling right in line on that.
All right, we're going to take a break hear from our sponsors, and we'll be back with the KK Collision post-game show, some stats, and here comes the campaign train for the Kent Dog Big Dog of the Game Award. Tiger Sports Live would like to thank its 2024-25 title sponsors, KK Collision, Meyer Badenhop Insurance, Affinity IT Group, Swanton Welding, P's and Ello's Pizza, Ohio Asphalt Paving, Davis Farm Services, Holgate Metal Fab, and the Gerald Grain Centers. We appreciate you guys. They support us, so please support them. They support us, so please support.
Broadcast is copyrighted by Tiger Sports Live for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this broadcast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of Tiger Sports Live is prohibited. Tiger Sports Live is prohibited.
It's the KK Collision post-game show live here from Kip Kern Field, Rex Lindgren Stadium. And I'm going to call this a one for the books. Archbold's going to write this win down. Liberty's going to write this win down. Somebody's going to be upset. Somebody's going to love their practice tomorrow. But let's talk about stats. Let's talk about the post game. Scott, what do you got?
A couple of quick ones. We don't spend a lot of time that second half. Did exactly what we needed to do was run the clock out. Liberty Center first downs, 19 first downs, 16 rushing. The bulk of that in the first half. Archbold with just 5 total yards. Liberty Center 439 yards, and we called the dogs off early. Archbold with 114. Passing, Grady Miller 2 for 3 for 96 yards. Liberty Center 3 for 6 for 114. It was great to see the quarterback involvement running and throwing the football tonight. Archbold tonight, 9 for 27 for 107. And the pressures, the hits, the sacks, it was just all night long in Kreinbrink's face. And just Archbold could not execute the way they're used to in the passing game. Liberty Center won the time of possession battle 36-12. That is devastating.
Ouch.
Welcome back. Tyler Lay leads us in tackles with 6, and I'm sure he led it with a bunch of bombs that went off on special teams coverage, but in Waylon Rentz with 5. Great defensive night, and Garrison Cruz, 3 touchdowns, did it on the ground and in the air. Liberty Center. T to Green, that was a dominating performance, Mark.
Yeah, and like I said, Liberty Center, we talked a little bit while you were up getting stats about the execution, and I think you could talk a lot about the different facets of the game, but across the board, execution, I think, is the key word here. Everything is being executed, and this guy shared with the listeners that even Casey right now is talking about mid-season form for his linemen, for blocking schemes, for running back, and the upside, wow. Everybody's excited about that.
All 3 levels tonight were A-plus effort. Mm-hmm. Your line of scrimmage was dominated, your skill positions, and you certainly, in your special teams, it was flawless play, coverage, execution on extra points. Other than the penalties and the 1 turnover, and that was, inconsequential point in the game. Liberty Center was just T to Green tonight, dominant and almost perfect. Spike, your thoughts on tonight's devastating victory?
I don't know what more you can say. I have never seen one team with such a storied program get so dominated. You know that even next year, Archbold will be back, and they will be
A lot of
better.
young kids, no doubt.
Yes, they'll be back, and they'll be an improved story. But that's then, and this is now. And Liberty Center still coming into their own. It's still coming into their own feeling, their own personality, and they're still looking for that. But the offensive line blows people away. The defensive line stops runs for losses, and the secondary had great coverage. This defense is phenomenal. This may be the best defensive team I've ever seen Liberty Center have.
Wait, I thought we said that last year.
You might have.
And we might have.
As Spike just said, that was then.
This is
and
now.
This is now.
That'd be a good book.
Recency bias, but this defense is dominating. Brian, your thoughts on tonight's game before we get to the player of the game?
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the keys to the game in the beginning. It was line of scrimmage. You said quarterback play, and I couldn't remember Spike's, but we just got it all. We got it all offensive, defensive,
He said
and
one
special
word,
teams.
defense.
And it was dominant. And you see these players just continue to rotate. The lack of fall off, just these kids are getting ready in practice, and it's showing on Friday nights.
Well, Mark, it's about time for you to introduce the.
It's time for the Kent Michael Speaks Hit Dog
The
Award.
hit dog, the hit dog, boy.
Who is the big dog of the game? Scott, we're going to let you go first.
Oh,
okay.
Been thinking about this. I really felt like I wanted to see something out of the quarterbacks. I felt like they had been, I don't want to say underperforming, but their impact on the game had been limited. We need that position. We need it both throwing it. We need it running it. We got it tonight. Grady Miller showed up in the run game, explosive, made some good throws tonight.
Yep.
The offensive line gave him time. I almost feel like I give it to Stephen Brogan and Waylon Rentz every week, and I just can't do that. So my vote goes to Grady Miller tonight. Stepped up in both aspects and played a dynamite. And then when he gets those snaps on defense, it's blanket city.
Yep.
I mean, he is an impact player all the way.
Yep. I'll give you three names. Grady Miller was one. The way he was able to run and throw the football, as good as I've seen him look at the quarterback position, and it's just another key to this offense that could be potentially unlocked. Stephen Brogan on offense and defense just continues to flash. If you just watch the game, Stephen, you see 63 just flashing all over the place. He's in the backfield. He's on the quarterback. And then Garrison Cruz, I mean, the way that he was able to impact the game offensively and defensively. You know, the few plays they put him on almost like a rushing end,
right,
where he puts his hand in the dirt on that play that he was able to tip and almost intercept. That's a guy you can just chess piece, move him all over the place, and, man, what a night he had.
Yep. Spiker?
I could pick Steve Brogan every game. He's the guy that it's depicted in that shot of planting the flag on at Iwo Jima. That's the presence that he brings to this football team.
Planting the flag.
I mean,
awesome.
This guy does it all. Everything comes around him. But, you know, and we could give him one of the awards every week. But I like one person I'll name was stepped up to the plate. You didn't see any big plays out of the guy, but who's been battling some hard struggles. But number 71, our center,
Clayton Seal.
Clayton Seal.
Yeah, big night.
Had to step up. He had to play center. He was playing nose guard, and this guy's playing on sheer guts. He's playing on sheer guts. I could see giving it to him because that was a big dog role.
Well, and when Hunter got hurt, CeeLo stepped in and played dynamite tonight.
Yes.
So you got to give us some names here.
I think he did.
I love Clayton Seal because I think that's a Kent dog type of tough guy. Garrison Cruz had a great game. He really astounded me. But you know what? I'm going to vote for Clayton Seal. Because that kind of toughness is what Liberty Center football is all about.
Hey, I'm gonna yield to Coach Mollers here in the booth. So I'm gonna yield my microphone.
We got a special guest.
But I'm
here.
gonna say welcome back, Tyler Lay.
Tyler
big
Lay.
dog.
Boy, big dog tonight. Maybe Tyler gets that with 6 tackles and some good special teams play.
All right, I'm gonna yield
Coach
my
Moeller,
headset,
really quick.
Coach Moeller.
Coach Moeller, when you go 4-0 and you put it on like that, you got to do some media. And I know that's not your favorite, but you get to do some. Let's keep it brief because you want to get to the locker room. Talk a little bit about your performance tonight in the first half. You got great quarterback play. Grady delivered on the ground as you would hoped. You had great offensive line play. Not a lot of flaws in tonight's performance.
No, we wanted to come out and get to a fast start, and I thought our guys did that. Grady's first touchdown was a fumble. It was a miscue, and I kind of got on him.
Well blocked, though. Well blocked.
But our guys blocked. And again, we hope it doesn't matter who's carrying the ball. Our guys are going to go out and find somebody and block them and stay on them, and they did a great job of that. And then we were able to use that momentum the rest of the way.
Talk about your special teams. It's been dynamite. Brian Hefflinger's got this group. And I know that Paul Amstutz did a great job, too. He had a lot to live up to. But the coverage and the tightness of the extra points, the things that we're doing, I think it's just a huge strength of this football team right now.
Well, he does a great job. And I was just saying, our special teams depth chart is an advantage for us because we put a lot of guys that aren't starters out there. And those guys are hungry. They want to be on the field. And there's a lot of competition. If they don't perform, that depth chart's changing on the daily basis. So, they can get replaced pretty easy because we've got – good numbers, and those guys have just done a great job.
If there's
set the tone for us.
Anything negative, I think that you'll take to the locker room. And last question, we'll get you down there for the champagne celebration for the first league win. The penalties still kind of haunt you a little bit. It wasn't as bad tonight, but 5 for 35 in the first half. I like to watch you in that yellow flag flies because you got the head down, you're ready to get after somebody. Nothing in the second half, but that first half, still some penalties you didn't like.
Yeah, and that's part of the game. I don't know there's very many games we ever have 0 penalties, but
right.
Those are learning opportunities for our kids, and I think we're getting a little bit better, and hopefully we can clean that stuff up.
29 straight. Way to open the league up, brother. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Good job, Coach. Yep. Good job, Case.
All right, Coach Moeller, thanks for joining us in the booth here. We must be getting substantiated.
Well, he's never been up here.
I know.
But Coach John Downey got him. We couldn't get him.
The coach.
But Downey is a legend. He's
there
a
you
legend.
go. All right, well, let's get back to the award here at the KK Collision postgame show. The Big Dog Award. I think we've got Stephen Brogan.
Well, no, I would say Grady Miller.
Grady Miller.
Although I love Stephen Brogan.
All right, so who's your candidate?
Grady Miller.
Who's your candidate?
Garrison Cruz.
Mine was Clayton Seal.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you had Tyler Lay.
T-Lay.
I tell you what.
Split.
That's tough.
All right, let's here we go.
All right, rock, paper,
everybody,
scissors,
rock, paper, scissors, ready? All but 1, 2, 3.
I win, baby.
All right.
Tyler Lay.
Oh, they with the big dog, Tyler
Welcome
Lay.
back, T-Lay.
Well, it was great to have Tyler Lay back.
Yeah.
His presence was felt immediately.
Yes.
And once we had Hunter Spangler go down, and as Spike said, and I loved what Spike said, Clayton Seal gets in there, has a heck of a football game, and we miss Hunter Spangler. But, man, when Tyler Lay came back, changed everything.
Yep. Yeah, and you can't – Clayton Seal played a heck of a game.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, so you can't – but Tyler Lay will be our Kent Dog, the Big Dog Award of the game. So, guys, I don't know what else to say about this game. It's everything I expected.
Yeah, right.
But I'll take the heat for that. Execution. You guys, in what I was kind of laughing about here as I was thinking about the postgame, is you talked about the keys to the game, and Liberty Center checked every box.
They did. They really did.
You guys really know what you're talking about.
They really did. They really did.
Yeah, I said I got the fan mail from Kobitz, Germany, from Uda and Gunnar.
Yeah.
Moeller with their son, so they really thought
cool.
the commentating was first class, and even though it was in English, we do have SAP on our capabilities, so we'll do that. But I don't know what's left to say tonight, guys.
I say 5 seconds each guy to finish, and we'll give it to you to close out. I would say this, or give it to Spike, 4-0. A surprising blowout victory. This game was over in the second quarter. Liberty has a homecoming next week, which is always a festive event. To get to 5-0 and to get over a Swanton team that I think is struggling right now, I don't think we're going to have a lot of trouble. But that's a heck of a start by Liberty Center. They've cleared the hurdles. They played some great football, and here they stand, 4-0 in the league, and a favorite, the pole position for the league title, right?
Yep. Yeah, I was just impressed all facets of the game tonight. Just the dominant performance we continue to see. This coaching staff gets these players up, senior leadership showing up, showing these young kids how to play, how to prepare, and get ready. And this is an impressive football team to watch.
Spike?
Just the overwhelming toughness on both sides of the ball. I mean, this is the epitome. This is the zenith of what 110 years of Liberty Center football has built up to, and that's where we're at right now. We're enjoying the fruits of thousands of Liberty Center football players from years gone by, and this is what they were all building for, and we're seeing it right in front of our very eyes.
We're in a golden era here. Spike,
yes,
take us out. Take us out.
All right, well, one of my favorite games to win, of course, is Archbold, and Liberty Center does it in high style and fine fashion. They put it on. They win it 51-0 over the Bluestreaks. Next week, we move on. We entertain the Swanton Bulldogs. So for everybody out there that enjoyed the broadcast and loves our Tiger football, for you, it's good night, everybody. Good Tiger sports.